Hello and welcome to Hoops After Dark. I am one of your hosts, DeAndre Henderson, and let me just tell you guys, we have a wonderful team behind us. Uh, Up top, you're gonna see Sam Kingery, that's my dog, all hoops knowledge, and down low, the smoothest man on a computer, Mike Cooper, my dog, my dog. Tonight's episode is going to be based around one of the best tournaments, in my personal opinion. It is going to be the NCAA bracket. You guys are going to hear us talk about, we're going to break down each of the games. We're going to see what region has star power, what region has a surprise, what region has this, what region has that. And we're also going to be talking about who's underseeded, who's overseeded, who's the best player in the tournament. That's we can debate about it all day long, but the obvious choice in my mind is not the obvious choice. We'll talk about that later. But I'm going to kick it over to Sam and let my boy get started on hoops after
All
dark.
right. Well, happy March, fellas. Let's first talk about all these seeds, what the bracket looks like that the committee put together for us. So I'm sure Michael is pulling up the bracket right now for us. Yep, there it is. So let's talk about just in general what we're kind of seeing here. So the first thing that jumped out to me immediately when I saw this bracket, because the first region they released was that East region, was the blue blood programs and their head coaches in this East region. In this
Mm,
East region, we have up top Duke with John Shire leading the way. John Shire looks like he's the next up and coming coach. I think he'll be at Duke for another 20 years. That Blue Devil team looks really good. They have a few injuries right now. But to continue, St. John's brought back into the limelight by Hall of Famer Rick Pitino. He had them win the Big East outright in the regular season, had them win the tournament. He has the Johnnies rolling. Kansas with Bill Self leading the way. Darren Peterson, the mercurial,
the
I
biggest question mark in college sports right now.
question mark, yes, but very talented player and looking like a great possibility for a second round matchup between the Johnnies and the Jayhawks. And Michigan State with Tom Izzo, the 3 seed in that region. Another tournament, Tom Izzo, I believe he has the record for current tournaments in a row. And then another blue blood program, UCLA, with the 7th seed under the leadership and chagrin of Mick Cronin, honestly. And same with UConn under the leadership and often chagrin of Danny Hurley, which I also think that possible second round matchup is possibly the most chaotic coaching matchup of all time. Two guys that there's a chance that they fight each other, that they fight the refs, and that they fight the media after the game too, but together or at each other. I think there's a great chance. So that's the first thing I noticed. Michael, what did you notice seeing this bracket?
I think oh, wait, hold on one second. Hold on. I heard that, Dre. Sorry, Dre, I got you. Dre, is that better?
Yeah, much better. That noise in the background
Okay.
was killing me. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What I was thinking, what I would think is I think the most intriguing matchups are I think the Johnnies, they're vastly underseeded, and I want to see in that potential second round of the Johnnies play Kansas of both of Bill Self and Patino's illustrious coaching careers. They've never played each other. So I want that I think that's a big matchup. I think like you mentioned, the chaotic matchup of Mick Cronin versus Hurley. I don't know if I would put over under 10 minutes on the first coach to get a technical foul in that game. And I think there's another legend in that Duke Siena game. Jerry McNamara, the legend player at Syracuse, is the coach at Siena, and he's in a lot of talks right now to be at a bigger job. He is one of the leading candidates to be that next Syracuse head coach. So I think there are, some intriguing matchups. I mean, you have Jamie Dixon as well. He's been a very good coach for a long time. But yeah, I think then you have the South Florida Louisville game where you have Hodgson, who came up from Arkansas State, went to USF, won the AAC the first year, his first year as coaching there. So I think you have some very good, interesting matchups in that region.
I also wanted to talk about real quick the amount of bids each conference got. So obviously the big dogs in the Big 12, the SEC, the Big 10, they all got over 4 or 5 bids each of them. And then we have a couple multi-bid leagues that we usually don't see. We got a 3-bid West Coast Conference with the usual Gonzaga, and St. Mary's has been a pretty constant program the past couple years. And now Santa Clara has also made it to the big dance as well, so giving us 3 teams out of that league. Has blessed us with a 2-bid MAC, gentlemen, a 2-bid MAC with Akron and Miami of Ohio, who went undefeated in the regular season, as we all know. They both
Those poor babies.
we're going to see how Miami of Ohio fares versus a very hot and cold SMU team. It'll depend on what kind of game SMU brings, most likely. And 2-bid Atlantic 10 region with St. Louis also going nearly undefeated this season, having a very good season with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Robbie Avila at the helm of the offense.
He's stupid.
Very valid. We've been waiting to get that guy in the tournament for multiple years, and we finally got it. But they didn't win their conference tournament because VCU ended up winning the conference tournament. So we have a 2-bid Atlantic 10 as well. The only other conference that I really noticed was a only 3-bid Big East, a conference, as said by John Fanta, to be built on 3 things: prayer, meatballs, and hoops. Only 3 bids this year: Johnny's, UConn, and Villanova.
Yep.
I was intrigued with the 1-bid Mountain West as well. I know Utah State was a very good team, and they had two bubble teams in San Diego State and New Mexico. San Diego State, I wasn't as shocked they didn't get in. There were some arguments I could make about New Mexico getting in, but I don't know. I mean, I think they pretty much got it right, pretty much across the board.
I couldn't agree more. This looks like a very solid bracket. I'm not surprised by the 1-bid Mountain West at all. That to me,
So Dre, my only argument with that was New Mexico. No, it wasn't the San Diego State argument. And my argument was Santa Clara got in over New Mexico, but New Mexico was on the bubble and beat Santa Clara by 20 plus this year. So I was like, there's a valid argument there. There's a valid argument there because they did play head to head, and that was the talk when VCU was still on the bubble before they stole that bid. Was New Mexico beat VCU and Santa Clara and they're below them in the bubble rank where they were sitting on the bubble. So I was like, okay, there's head to head doesn't matter apparently, but other than that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's where kind of that argument came from.
And like I said, they pretty much for the most part got it correct. Miami of Ohio being a play-in team is kind of what are we doing here? But I actually think they're going to lose that first round matchup. But we'll get to that later. We'll talk about that in a second. This bracket is actually going to be awesome. What's up?
I have another quick comment about how I think the bracket came together. I think one of the reasons that contributed to them having a really solid bracket there's a few, we think that possibly St. John's could have been like a 4-seed or a 3-seed. Maybe Gonzaga gets dropped down, whatever you want to argue. It's pretty solid. I think one of the reasons that happened is because all the bubble teams at the end of the year just all together decided to all lose. None of them decided to make a conference tournament run. They all decided to lose. The people that were making conference tournament runs, these teams were all the teams that were firmly out and needed to win the conference tournament, and none of them really did. Ole Miss made a pretty deep run in the SEC tournament. There was no way they were getting in on their resume alone, and no team that was on the bubble really gave the committee anything to think about, and no one stole a bid. Dayton could have stolen a bid today, but they didn't. So it gave the committee a really easy job, honestly.
Yeah, I couldn't
Can we
agree
take
more.
a step back for a second?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that Dayton St. Louis game real quick? Did you watch that game? That last 30 seconds was the last 30 seconds of that game was nuts. St. Louis, I think St. Louis hit a 3 to go up 1.
Yes.
And then Dayton hits a 3 to go up 1. No, Dayton scored to go up 1. They hit a 2 to go up 2. And then St. Louis comes down and hits a 3 with 13 seconds left to go up 1. And then Dayton comes down and scores with like half a second left.
And then St. Louis
Yikes.
inexplicably held onto the ball a little too long and like didn't get any offense, like any last shot, and it was just over. And they thankfully had played themselves into the tournament, but they fell apart a little bit in that last 30 seconds.
The same thing with the Cal Baptist Utah Valley game last night. Cal Baptist was down 6 with under a minute to go. They came back. They hit a 3 with like 6 seconds left, I think, to take
Isn't
a
that the game where
1-point
the
lead.
dude missed a dunk to go ahead?
Yeah,
It was like a wide open ass dunk.
wide open alley oop to give Utah Valley the lead, and he missed.
Yikes! Yikes!
I feel bad for that. I feel bad for that kid.
It is what it is, man. Because, and let me just make a quick comment about the college basketball as a whole. I don't know about you guys, but this has been some of the best college hoops that I've watched in a long time, and I want to attribute that to the NIL. A lot of people had things to say about these kids getting paid, but look at this. Look at exactly how it's rolling. This is what happens when you let people get paid in college. You get teams like BYU get the best player in the country. You know what I'm saying? So like this, I think we're going to have amazing college hoops for years to come, and it might even entice guys to stay in college a little bit longer. But that's an argument for another day.
Yeah. Do you have any Jay, did you have any other thing? I know we had basically talked about what we thought of the bracket. Did you have anything to say? Otherwise I have like 2 more quick points, but I don't have anything more on this.
Nothing more than I'm just super excited. I'm ready for the upset nation. I want to hear. We were talking earlier about what's the new 12-5, because you guys know years before the 12 seeds were upsetting the 5 seeds. It felt like every day. It felt like every bracket that the 12 was losing to the 5. What's that new matchup these days? I want to know, because I'm not choosing St. John's to lose in the first round, because that team is extremely talented. Rick Pitino is a Hall of Fame coach, and he does not mind getting into his players, and that's where a lot of the respect comes from him. So, what's the new matchup this year? I think that's just my big point here. I want to see, like, where's the new? Is it 11-6 now? Like, is it the 13-4? You know. So other than that, no, I agree with you 100%, Sam. I think it's a well thought out bracket. And it's going to give us some really good, even in the first round, it's going to give us some really intriguing matchups.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And me and Michael were kind of talking about the 12-5s and what we were kind of thinking about what possibly that new version of that is. Quick last couple of things before we move on from the bracket. Last final little comments. The St. Louis based games, I think I live in St. Louis currently. That is my like pseudo hometown. I always rock for St. Louis. I think that's going to have great crowds because Purdue, Iowa State, and Missouri, which Missouri being there is crazy, are all playing there. They're all going to be able to draw great home crowds. It's going to be a rocking atmosphere. Same as Houston being in Houston. Obviously, that's going to be a crazy game. And I actually
might as well
pick
them to win that whole thing right now, man.
Yep. Oh yeah. And Houston, being in, I was at Houston SIUE last year because I actually graduated from the SIUE. And Houston drew a huge crowd in Wichita, Kansas. So Houston will obviously be amazing. And my only last comment was in that West region. If you take a look at the West, so what I'm seeing in this West region is 4 teams, as far as I can see, where as their top player goes, that's how that team goes. And those 4 teams are the University of Missouri, BYU, Arkansas, and Purdue. It's a little bit different for Arkansas and Mizzou for different reasons. Mizzou has played without Mark Mitchell this year. Not really that well, but they played without him, and they just kind of tend to spread around the ball and just shoot a bunch of threes.
Same with Arkansas. They have talent around that team. But as Darius Acuff goes, they literally come from a whole different level.
Yes. And then BYU, obviously, with AJ DeBonsa, he's scoring nearly 30 points a game for them. And Purdue, they're going Braden Smith is going to get the all-time assist record for college basketball. He's going to finish at Purdue as if not their greatest player ever, a top 5 player for them. He would be chalked in as their starting point guard of their all-time team. If that guy, as he's been playing in the Big Ten tournament over the past week, if he is seeing the floor as well as he is, and if he is getting his guys the shots that he is,
Good luck.
they're going to be a tough team to beat. And I think all 4 of those teams are going to be, if their top guy is playing well and getting the shots and other teams are forced to sell out for them, they're going to
Good
be
luck.
really tough to get out in this tournament.
I couldn't agree more with you, Sam. Especially, I think that's BYU's case because as AJ Dibonsa goes, I've never seen a guy with a more unstoppable one-on-one move. If he gets to the middle of that lane and hits you with that little mid-range jumper, good night. He's going to hit 40 on you, and it's going to be easy for him. So same with Darius Acuff. If that 3 ball is falling, again, good night. Because he'll drop 30 and 10 on you, and then you'll be down by 15 really fast.
Yeah, and you can't.
The thing with it.
Go ahead.
Dre, sorry, I was going to piggyback off of what you said. The thing with Acuff is, like, if you watch like how he played today, he had 30 and 11. He's
Dude,
not
he had
just
11
scoring.
assists. No.
That's what I'm saying. He's setting up everybody on that team. My only concern with Arkansas, which we'll get into later, is their depth because they only play 7 guys.
8 at
but
most.
Acuff makes that team go.
Yeah.
And those dudes go from 3-star players to, it feels like they're 5-star players because he'll throw a lob to his center and that you can see like, whoa, he's bouncy as a mug. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how 1-star can make them go. It's insane.
They get so much space. It's that space for those shooters, especially Arkansas is like the real team in this, and Purdue a little bit, where if you're selling out on Acuff and he can all of a sudden pass to his other 2, they have 2 other high-level scorers. They have Trayvon Brazile coming off the dunker spot. If he gets them available, it is impossible to play them nearly. And we saw it in the SEC tournament, but we're getting into teams now. Should we go ahead and just get it on this bracket?
Yeah, I think it's time to just get on in it. And I think how if 2 of us agree, we just mark and we move on. So
I'm down with that.
One of us will be on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I truly think with the knowledge that we have and just what we've seen this season, I think we'll be on the same page on a lot of these games. It'll just be a matter of, it's the NCAA tournament. We got to put some upsets in there. We got to make sure people know who to be betting on in the first round,
These are still 22-year-olds playing basketball for 1 game.
You said what? I didn't hear you.
Dre, Dre, you mentioned the what do you call it? What's the new upset? The last time all 6 seeds won against the 11 in the NCAA tournament was 2004. There's always one 11-6 upset almost every single season.
And then the last 10, it's all time. It's like 60% win rate for 6 seeds. In the last 10 years, it's trending towards like 52%.
Okay.
And Dre, you mentioned the
matchup.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned the 5-12 too. At least one 12 seed has defeated a 5 seed in 34 of 40 NCAA tournaments since 1985.
Come on, baby. Talk to me now, Cooper. You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, bro. The 12-5 is my favorite matchup to chase because if you're a betting man, you want to just look. Don't put them all on the same parlay because not all 12 seeds are going to win because that's not how that goes. But if you want to do a separate one for all 4, I don't know, especially not this year. St. John's is a number 5 seed. I'm sorry. There's going to be hard for me to go against the Red Storm this year. But again,
you mentioned we'll do the 4. You mentioned the 4-13 too. At least one 13 seed has won a game in an NCAA tournament in 28 of the last 40 NCAA tournaments.
Again, it's about finding who that Cinderella team is going to be this year. And like I said, man, I'm scared for Kansas in round 1 because Cal Baptist has a player that dude can go. He can go get his 40. And he's fast. I can't remember that guy's name. Gosh, I am blanking. Oh, that is going to irritate
Dominique
me.
Duke.
Yes, Dominique. Thank you. The lefty. The lefty.
Yeah.
He's a point guard. And when I tell you that kid can go, That kid can go. He single-handedly drugged them through the tournament and won them. And I don't know if he won it because that dude missed a wide open dunk, but definitely.
Hey, Dominique Duke hit the 3 to give him the lead. So
Exactly. And which gave him
Dominic
40.
Daniels, just no one flames us for not knowing who
Oh, it's
plays
Dominic
for
Daniels.
Cal
See,
Baptist.
no, that's my fault. And when this gets back to his ears, my bad, big dog. That's on me. But yeah, man, let's get into this tournament, man. Now I'm juiced up. Now I'm ready to go.
I think we're going to go with Duke in this Duke Siena matchup.
I'm very on board with you.
Yeah, I
Duke,
agree.
too many weapons. Too many weapons. Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't think too much into it.
I don't see another. I would say this Duke team's not the Virginia team.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
It seemed like the whole year that the number 1 seeds. There was a weekend like 4 weeks back where the number 1 seed in each of the big conferences played the number 2 seed, and all of them won by like 25. These number 1 seeds have really put themselves ahead this year. I don't see Duke losing to Siena.
Nope.
Shout out to the 36,000 people who, I don't know if it's a joke, that picked Siena to win this game.
Hey, Siena fans, loyalty
Those
is a
are
rare
all
breed.
all Siena fans, I promise you.
Loyalty is a rare breed. I bet on SIUE last year. Respect to you guys.
Hey, 35-1 if you want to bet on Siena to win outright.
That's crazy.
Next game, TCU and Ohio State.
This was one of my like 5 games that it was truly a coin flip to me. My factoids I kind of wrote down for it was TCU is better on the road and at neutral sites. TCU has better wins. Ohio State has the best player in the game. Overall, from TCU's better wins, I'm going to take TCU. Neither way would shock me, though. I can be convinced either way.
No, I'm with you because, again, it's the NCAA tournament. I have watched TCU play 3 times, and they were on the road each time. If you can play on the road and be successful, number one, that's coaching, and that translates to the NCAA tournament because you're going to have hostile crowds. People who don't even go to their dang school are going to be watching you. So I'm with you, but again, would not be shocked if the Buckeyes pulled out a win here. Not at all.
No, and obviously the Buckeyes have the best player in the game. He's very experienced with Thornton. So game could go either way. I really wouldn't be shocked. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I agree. I'm on TCU here as well. I think, like you mentioned, Thornton's one of the best players in the country, and he has some shooters around him, but I feel TCU has the coaching edge with Jamie Dixon, and I feel like that they're just the better team overall, and what they do and how they play travels really well. And, they had some tough losses at home. They didn't really have those tough losses on the road. So I'm on board with you too. I pick TCU as well. And I think, the odds kind of show it. Opened at 4.5, got bet down immediately down to 2.5.
Yep.
So
the Horned Frogs are the move.
Sharp action.
The Horned Frogs are the move.
Do we want to go down and then go back up, or do we want to do this Duke TCU game?
I think we go through the whole first round first.
Yeah, let's just go down and come back.
So we've already talked about St. John's. Everyone's going to be on Northern Iowa because people see Northern Iowa in the tournament. They think of Ali Farouk-Manesh. They think of the UNI team that went on a run a couple of years ago. It's really easy. Like when people see Loyola Chicago in the tournament, when they see any team like that in the tournament, they're like, oh, I remember them being good. They obviously have a good program. This is not the same Northern Illinois team. They, in their conference tournament in the Missouri Valley tournament, did not have to knock off that number 1 seed Belmont. They weren't the team that did that. They're a decent team. They really are. But this St. John's team, I think we all kind of agree, is a little underseeded at a 5 seed. They don't have the hallmarks of a 5 seed that loses because they play tough defense, they play tough all game long, and they have the coaching edge. Usually 5 seeds that lose, they play a little soft, or they're more of an offensive team. They don't care about their defense. This team is gonna choke out Northern Iowa. They're just too good, in my opinion, to lose, and they're too hot right now.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't know.
Pitino's coaching.
I don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't understand how I was talking with my dad yesterday. It was ironically we were talking about who I'd like to go to the Final Four, and I was like, this was before I filled out my bracket and everything came out. I was like, oh, it's St. John's. They're going to be a 2 or 3 seed. They got a 5 seed. They won the Big East regular season and tournament. I don't know why they're sitting at a 5 seed, but Pitino's going to feed into that, and they're not losing to Northern Iowa in the first round.
And in case
No,
you
sir.
needed another reason to believe that not only is St. John's a good 5 seed, a good defensively, they have Rick Pitino guarding them. Listen to this matchup information. University of Northern Iowa, they are a team that thrives when it's a low possession game and they guard the 3 well. They stop other teams from shooting the 3. Guess what St. John's doesn't really do? They don't really shoot the 3.
They don't shoot that 3. They going to the cup.
St. John's would love nothing more than a game that's inside the arc and that's defensive.
Because they got long wings, long bigs. Yeah. They got everything.
Yeah, if that's the game that Northern Iowa wants to play, Rick Pitino will give them that all day long, and they will crush them at their own game.
He said, I will grant you that request, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Proudly. So this is every year we got those 12-5 matchups. This is not one of those 12-5s that I'm going to be chasing. The Red Storm, solid basketball team. And like you said, Pitino's going to use it as tackling fuel to get them rolling, moving, and grooving. And I see this St. John's team, if they made a run to the Final Four, would not be surprised.
Yeah, I would not be surprised with that either. I just think, I think the line is probably about right. It's probably going to be a 12 to 15 point game too. I don't see this game being close at all.
I agree.
No, I don't see St. John's, blowing them out because they don't shoot a lot of 3s. But there's never going to be a point in the game where you're like, oh, Northern Iowa could really steal this. It's going to be a consistent 10-point ahead St. John's the entire time, and it's just going to be a slow choke to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Sorry, I was just going to hit one point.
Okay.
What's crazy is Northern Iowa averages 69.9 points per game, and St. John's averages 81.6. And we were just talking about how they don't shoot a lot of 3s. They bully you, they score, they get to the free throw line. It's just not a good matchup at all. I don't think. If Northern Iowa was playing somebody else, I would probably look at them in that kind of matchup, but it's
If Northern Iowa got Alabama where they wanted to run them off the 3-point line, maybe something like that I'd consider, but not the St. John's team. Not the way they're playing, not the way they play.
Nope. All right, moving on to Kansas and Cal Baptist here.
Is Darren Peterson going to play?
I think the national media and every single fan of college basketball has been asking themselves that all year. We know that Darren Peterson plays when he has less than 20 points until he gets to those 20 points.
Then he's out.
Does that change in the tournament? We have not had any communication with himself about what his expectation is.
Cool. What's the spread? I can't see it.
14.5 Kansas.
So here's what I have in terms of this matchup. We have Dominique Daniels. He's averaging 23 a game for the Lancers. Obviously, a great offensive player. Somebody they could, have really take them somewhere. The issue is this: without Darren Peterson, if we just put that away, this Kansas team has played many games with him basically not playing. They hang their hat on their defense. They really do. If their defense plays hard, they play well, they have experienced guys at both the point of attack on their defense and in the back end. I think that Dominique Daniels is going to have a struggle probably doing that.
Because he's small.
He is small. Yeah, and I think defense, if it was maybe a different Kansas, if it was Kansas when they had Hunter Dickinson and they cared more about their offense, I would think more of this game, but I think if they're going to play hard defense like they have all year, they play defense versus better players than Dominique Daniels and shut them down. I think they'll still win. I also think, as we talked about to start off with Darren Peterson, he has. Here's his problem at this point. His problem at this point is he wants to go to the NBA. Clearly, has to tell somebody in the NBA one of two things. He has to tell the people that are interviewing him one of two things: either I have a chronic injury problem, or I don't care about basketball.
One of the two have to come out.
One of the two have to come out. What would really help him at this point would be for him to have a hell of a tournament.
So hold on, before we
So we all
say
forget
that,
about it?
before we go on that piggyback real quick of the minutes, in Darian Peterson's last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, he's played 30 or more minutes in 5 of them. The other 2 was the blowout to Houston in the tournament. In the conference tournament, he only played 28 minutes, and their blowout win of Kansas State right before the tournament, he played 29. So he's playing basically 30 or more minutes a night now.
He has been playing significantly more. I think the point still stands that he needs to put this to rest. He needs to go out and he needs to average 25 a game in this tournament to say, I cared the whole time. Just there was a little hiccup. There's a little thing with the minutes. But whenever I'm playing and I'm invested, clearly I'm one of the best players in the country or the best.
Do you guys understand? Go ahead, Sam.
No, keep going.
Do you guys understand that next to AJ DeMonsa, there was Darren Peterson? There was a debate about who should be the first player taken. I just feel like people need to remember that. I understand that. And Sam, to your point, he's going to have to admit it, especially if they flame out in the tournament, especially then. I'm glad he's been playing more minutes, but Darren Peterson is the biggest question mark in college sports. So I do think if he doesn't come out, and you said it best, Sam, put this to rest. Let everybody know, hey, man, I'm still that dude. I might have just been going through it during that time. And I will accept that and gladly move on. However, if I was an NBA scout, of course, I'm going to look him dead in his eyes and I'm going to need a freaking answer. Like, hey, dude, what do you got? Like, because clearly, when Darren Peterson is invested, is he not either the best or second best player in the country? It's not even close. He is easily the second best and the best player in the country. But the question marks just remain for me. Like, is he going to play for me when it's time? Or is he going to hit a 3 and then hit me with the hammy?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. And I want him to just put this to bed. I'm with you, Sam. I want him to put it to bed. So we don't got to freaking talk about it anymore. We can talk about how loaded this NBA draft is if these guys come out.
Exactly. In terms of this game, I think with the defensive hardiness of Kansas, I think I'm still picking Kansas. As a Mizzou fan and somebody who also attended the University of Missouri, if Kansas lost and he sucked, I would laugh and rather enjoy it. But they play too hard defensively for me to really think that one good scorer for Cal Baptist can outplay them. And Bill Self is also obviously a Hall of Fame coach.
He's not going to let one player just dominate him the whole game, and especially some 6-foot point guard. No offense to Cal Baptist at all.
Yeah, no,
hey,
no.
Dre, you're being generous. They list him at 5'10".
Ooh.
See, I was giving him 3 inches. I was like, I'm giving him some inches. That dude is small.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
But
so
think about,
again, to your point, the hard defense that Kansas plays, I agree with you, might be a little suffocating for Cal Baptist. They got a shitty draw round 1. They got a real shitty draw, man. You got to go play the Kansas Jayhawks. That does not sound fun for me.
Kansas fans travel too, as much as I hate to admit it.
Kansas fans will go.
Mm-hmm.
That game is in San Diego, so you're gonna have Arizona's fan base. You're gonna have Kansas. You're gonna have Cal Baptist. You're gonna have Utah. You're gonna have Utah State, who travels really well as well. So it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of good mesh of fan base, but there's not gonna be. Kansas is gonna probably travel the best out of all of them.
I couldn't agree more, and I do think they win this game by 15.
Yeah, of all the
you think they cover?
I do.
I would love for Cal Baptist to win because of my hatred for Kansas. Also, if the 5'10" guy just starts running over this tournament, I think America would love it in general, and the world would love to just watch some guy just tear people up. But I just don't think it's likely.
The country loves a comeback story, like a dude who against all odds is going and is just tearing people up. But again, you kind of need the chips to fall in your favor, and Cal Baptist getting Kansas on the first draw, and then even if they win, they're gonna have a tough draw in the second round. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't. Even if
you're
Cal
playing you're
Baptist finds a way to win the game, they lose in the second round.
you're playing 2 power teams with Hall of Fame head coaches that are defensive minded. It's gonna be hard to win.
Nope. I will pass.
Yep. Now,
Moving on to Louisville in South Florida.
here's an upset. Here we can now actually
UCF.
discuss. We can
I
now.
picked this is
USF.
where I picked my first upset as well.
Yep, this is where I think a lot of people. So it seems like the public is still in Louisville, which is good because I always get a little fearful when the whole public is against a team. There has been no team as volatile as Louisville this year. No team. SMU doesn't count as this. Purdue doesn't. No one. Louisville has went out some nights and they have played a top 5 team as close and won the game. And then they go out and they'll play Wake Forest and they'll lose by 20. I
I have no idea how they do that. That is insane to me.
They make no sense. As we talked about earlier, 6 versus 11 has been very trendy in the last 10 to 15 years. And Louisville is most likely missing their star player, and Mikael Brown Jr. He's hurt, and he didn't
Yeah,
play
yes.
the tournament. So, of all the places to start talking upsets,
And another piggyback on that. Sorry, I know Michael Brown's out. Pat Kelsey has never won a game in the NCAA tournament.
Sorry.
He's
not
0
starting here.
He's 0-5.
that's really tough.
That's tough because he's going to be 0-6 because USF I think they play tough. They're a physical basketball team, and I think they shoot the 3 well, if I remember right. Cooper, can you look that up for me?
Yes, I can.
I think they do. So, I have here. So here's the only caveat that I have to maybe the reason why Louisville can win this game, which is obviously Louisville probably a little bit more talented technically. South Florida does play their starters most of the minutes. They're not deep at all. They play 5 to 6 guys most of the minutes. But with those starters, they really spread the ball around and are really good on both sides of the ball. They're top 60 nationally in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Even though they're not very deep, they're very good when those guys are in the game. So I'm still going to be on South Florida.
Yeah, I agree. And Dre, to answer your question, USF doesn't shoot the 3 ball that well. They shoot they shoot 33.1% as a team. So it's not great, but they do what they do well is they get to the free throw line. 23% of their points come from the free throw line, and they shoot 74.3% as a team from the free throw
That's
line.
good.
So they get there and make their free throws. So if you guys have watched what do you call it, USF play this year, they are long. They're not as good as St. John's, but they're kind of built very similar. They're long, they're lanky, they get after it, and they're very, very good on the defensive side of the ball. They have the 40th best defense efficiency in the country.
Yeah.
They
Defense
are
travels well
very,
in college basketball, baby.
Yeah. And a top 60 offensive efficiency to go with that versus a team like Louisville who is so inconsistent when USF seems like for a mid-major as consistent as possible in what they do. So I think this is a really great place to pick one of our first big upsets. I'd also like to just shout out the program of the University of South Florida in general, their sports program. Great year of football. Looks like another great year of basketball for them too. Shout out to South Florida, the Bulls. They got a good
go
thing going now.
Bulls. Yeah, they
Go
do.
Bulls.
They've got it rocking and rolling.
I hope they can keep Hodgson though for another year. He's been rumored as one of the main guys that Syracuse is trying to go after, and he's a New York guy. So, but I hope they can keep him in Tampa another year because he could probably have them rolling again next year too.
Absolutely.
Man, but with the way that money talks and bullshit walks,
Hey,
he's
it
heading
seems
to
like
Syracuse if the money's right.
it seems like Josh Schertz has gotten plenty of money offered to him, and he's staying at St. Louis, it sounds like. So the money goes both ways, it seems like, because these schools still are making a lot in this NIL deal.
I'm telling you,
I feel like
NIL
too,
has
like
just changed everything about the game, and I love it.
I'll use. I know this is off topic, not NCAA tournament, but I'll use Dan Mullen as an example at UNLV. Would you rather get paid by three? Would you rather get paid $3.5 million a year at UNLV and be in the Mountain West and try to win the Mountain West, and you get a $4 million NIL budget every year, and try to beat the shit out of the Mountain West, or do you want to go to Arkansas like he was rumored to, or Ole Miss, wherever it was, and have SEC pressure on you, and where you go 7-5, it's a
That's
whole different
bad.
story.
That's all bad.
Exactly, because in the UNLV in the Mountain West, yeah, you're probably not competing for the same thing, but you got a program, you're getting paid great money. But when you get, maybe not Arkansas, but like Ole Miss, where they're looking at you, or like if this coach from South Florida would go to Syracuse, Syracuse is looking at him and saying, "We need you to bring our program back to where Jit Boeheim had us. Can you do that?"
Yeah.
Not many people do that. It's the
Yeah.
same that Kalen DeBoer is going to consistently keep having in Alabama, where Kalen DeBoer is a good head
Can you do
coach.
Nick Saban?
Can you do Nick Saban for us? And he's like, "Can anyone do Nick Saban for you?" And they
Nick Saban was a
don't.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to your guys' point, I'm definitely on the Bulls here. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Yeah, go Bulls on that one. I don't think we have to go in depth at this matchup, but we can talk about it anyway. Michigan State, North Dakota State.
I have some real quick on this. North Dakota State rebounds the ball really well. Here's the problem. That's what Michigan State does really well.
Yeah,
and
I was
better
going to
than
say,
that.
don't Michigan State rebound the ball well too?
Yeah. So if it's going to be, listen, if you want to watch a game where two teams are rebounding the hell out of the ball, watch this matchup. It's going to be a great rebounding game. But Michigan State has infinitely more talent, is better at rebounding the ball than them, and they're going to beat North Dakota State at what they do best. And without all those second chance points, it's going to be really, really hard for them. But another great program all around in North Dakota State. Good basketball this year, and obviously perennial good football team. So good for them making the tournament. But if this is the matchup that they're going to be given, it's going to be hard for them to win. Another time where if they were playing in Alabama or somebody that's likes to throw up a lot of shots and they can get all the rebounds, maybe. But if you're hanging your hat on your rebounding and then you get a Tom Izzo Michigan State team to play in the first round, best of luck.
And
Yeah,
they
good
have the
luck with
best
that one.
athlete in the tournament in Cohen Carr. I've never seen a dude dunk a ball so hard in my life. He's got a literal NBA dunk package highlight mixtape. When y'all get a second, go check out Cohen Carr. The dude flies everywhere, and it's insane how big
He
big
dunks like
he
he
is.
has a problem with the rim. It is.
He dunks like he's
ferocious.
running away from something, and he never wants to go back to it. And it was like how Zion used to dunk the ball. I think he dunks harder than Zion. And like, oh my gosh. Obviously that athleticism's gonna die, so that's why I think his ceiling is a little capped. But dude, right now that is one hell of a player to watch is Cohen Carr, 55 and
Oh, yeah.
green.
Enjoyable to watch for sure.
On to the next matchup of UCLA and UCF.
So here's what I got here. So this is another game where it's a kind of a coin flip, but health is going to be a major role here. UCLA is missing arguably their two best players in Tyler Bilodeau and Donovan Dent, who were playing well. They are said to be coming back, but how well they're coming back, we don't know. Obviously, all the coaches have been understandably very cagey in answering any questions about the health of their players for the March Madness. So we don't know. UCF is coming in ice cold. I believe they lost 5 of their last 6. UCLA is coming in hot. UCLA had kind of a tough start to the season. And then it honestly seemed like around the time that Mick Cronin lost his mind on national television after the game with a reporter. It seemed like around there they kind of started to turn around. Bilodeau and Dent really started gelling together and playing well, and UCLA made a little run in the Big Ten tournament. So if those players are healthy, I'm gonna go with UCLA because they're coming in hot, and I'll just go with that. But if they come in not healthy, UCF can easily win this game. Small little point, Mick Cronin, because it's a neutral site game, does have to travel to this game, and I believe it's in New York City. Mick Cronin is going to be so pissed.
It is in Philly.
Philly, sorry. Mick Cronin's going to be so pissed about having to go across the country. Mick Cronin hates being in the Big Ten, which he chose to coach at UCLA and knew what the deal was, but he's gonna have to fly across the country, and boy, he's gonna be at some journalist's throat about having to go across the country. But I'm gonna pick UCLA if they're healthy.
I'm with you
I
here.
mean, if you kind of look at the breakdown of how UCLA has played this year, UCLA is 12-0 against quad 3, quad 4, and then you look at their quad 2, quad 1 games, which is an NCAA tournament game, they're 9-10. You can say the same about UCF. UCF is 11-11 against quad 2 and quad 1 games. So it's, they're both kind of the same profile. And if you kind of have an issue of if Donovan Dent's healthy or not, Donovan Dent was playing as well as any point guard in the country. I think he had a 12-1 assist to turnover ratio when he got hurt over the last 7 games. Like Sam mentioned, when Mick Cronin started calling out the team, then UCLA went on a very hot run.
He ejected his own player at one point, just to remind everybody. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I had never seen that. Dre, did you see that?
No.
He ejected.
So go look up when they were getting blown out by Michigan State when he went on that rant. He ejected one of his own players from the game and took him off the floor, told him to go to the locker room in the middle of the play.
Hey, sometimes, bro, in basketball, like I said, the NIL has been really good for college basketball in a lot of different ways. But this is one of the trade-offs. You know what I mean? Guys are going to come in and thinking that their shit don't stink until they realize that, holy smokes, I've actually got to play, and there's somebody behind me that wants my spot who's making just as much NIL money as me. So it doesn't really freaking matter. Coach doesn't care. As long as this is going to be a really good point to start holding some of these dudes accountable. Hey, man, I'm paying you $1.5 million to bring your butt over here. First of all, my school's got it. I can pay for another $1.5 million. You could take your ass home. So, that's just necessary.
To piggyback what Sam said was the UCF has struggled. They were 12-1. They started really hot this year, and they finished 21-11. So they lost 9. They finished the season 9-12.
I'm gonna get.
No, sorry, 9-10.
Whenever we get to Missouri, but under Dennis Gates, Missouri has a chronic problem of limping into the tournament. We don't win, and teams that limp into the tournament just usually struggle.
And they usually get really beat in that first round matchup.
Yeah. It's just going to be, are those guys healthy or not? And we're not going to know until game. So as of right now, I'll take the team that's hot and bet on them being healthy enough.
Who's the spread is like 7 points, isn't it, Coop?
Yeah, 6.5 UCLA. It opened at that with a total of 155.5. The total is down to 152.5. A lot of people seem like took the under right off the bat. But like Sam mentioned, Tyler Bordelot has a sprained knee. He got hurt in this was at the semifinals, so he didn't play the rest of the game. He got hurt in the first half. Donovan Dent has a strained calf. So I don't know how healthy you're going to come back from a strained calf in a week or so, less than a week maybe. So it's going to be interesting to see how healthy they truly are. With knowing that and knowing that they're maybe be available, the line is a little high for. I don't know if that says more about what UCLA has around them or how bad UCF is playing right now.
I think that has a lot to do with how bad UCF is playing. Why am I getting those two confused? I think it just, at the end of the day, I think Sam's point, it's more so who's going to be healthier in this moment, because it seems like you got the same type of team, quote unquote. So in this moment, it's tough. I will take UCLA.
I'm on board with that.
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. It could easily go the other way, and I wouldn't be shocked ever.
So we agree UCLA on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think we have any talk about Furman, UConn.
No, UConn's a stud. Next.
Furman, great season. I'll be rooting for you. I'll always root for any upset in the tournament. But
good luck, big dog.
Yeah, good luck.
UConn is going to
68,000
probably
people.
smoke those guys.
UConn's playing in Philadelphia, too close to
Yeah.
home. Yeah, tough.
Hey,
Moving
that's
on.
2 good fan bases. No, maybe not. UCLA's not gonna travel, I don't think, but UConn and UCLA in the same region.
They do have a large alumni base, though, so they won't be bad. Obviously, we can start with Florida.
You can move them on.
This is going to be the most disgusting game you guys have ever watched in your entire life of basketball. This is
Give me
going
the
to
Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's also probably what I'm going to take. This game, both of these teams play at some of the slowest paces in the country and try to force the
Facts.
opponents to do that. It is brutal to watch these teams play. Clemson is deep, but they have no star. Every player on the team averages like 8 a game. They play like 9 guys. They all average 8, and one guy averages 11, and he's their star. And
Quote
then
unquote.
Iowa is the Bennett Sturts show, which I've watched the Bennett Sturts show in my life last year in Wichita, Kansas. He's a great player, very talented. He's the reason I'm picking Iowa in this game because I just think they have the best player in this game, and
Yep.
this game is gonna be like 55-58 with 2 minutes left, and he's gonna be the one that makes a shot. So I'm gonna take Iowa with Bennett Sturts as the X factor, but this will be a tough watch, America. Bet the under. 130
Yeah.
is already low, but I'm betting under that.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. I like Iowa as well. Iowa's played decent schedule. They've, Bennett Sturts is probably the difference maker in this game, I think, just like Sam mentioned.
When there's an
Ben
8-9
McCollum.
matchup, I usually take the team that has the best player, who has the best player overall in the game. And in this case, it is Iowa, so that's why I'm on the Iowa Hawkeyes here.
I also think that the ACCU is not very good. Was obviously the top. Every conference is good, but Iowa's playing in the Big Ten. The Big Ten, I think, was very, very, very good this year. Ben McCollum got that Iowa Hawkeyes team through at a 24-12
Rolling.
record. I don't see any reason to bet against them if they're going to play a team like Clemson who wants to play their game.
Now, Sam, look at that matchup that's on the screen now.
Listen, Amir Khan is back. Amir Khan
for Vandy?
with Will Wade, and they got into some sort of NIL dispute. He got into an NIL dispute with his student manager. On at Christmas, transferred back to McNeese. One of the funniest things in college basketball as well, with Mick Cronin kicking out his own player. This is another 5-12 that I'm sorry. This McNeese team, they're pretty good, but their coach is no longer Will Wade, so there's no tournament experience with their head coach. They're not the same team as last year. This McNeese State team, well, it's McNeese now, it's no longer McNeese State. They thrive off of creating turnovers. They average like 23 points a game off of turnovers. Vandy is top 15 in the country in assist to turnover ratio. They play incredibly clean basketball. It's another 5-12 that would be more interesting if it was a good matchup, but it's not a good matchup for McNeese. I wish they were same as St. John's is playing who again? What's the matchup for St. John's? It's Northern Iowa. It's the same as them. Where
Yeah, Northern Iowa.
if they were playing somebody looser with the ball, if McNeese was, I'd be really way more interested in the upset here, but not with this Vandy team. They've been too consistent with how careful they are with the ball, and McNeese is a little small, bigger than them, and they're just not going to be able to hang if they're not going to get that 23 points off of turnovers.
Well, Cooper, I'll let you be the judge of this one because this was one of my upsets. For some weird reason, my body was telling me that McNeese was the team to take here, and the most vulnerable 5 seed, in my opinion, might have been Vandy. But I could be totally wrong. I could be just wanting some March Madness magic to happen. So, unfortunately, Sam, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm also you know how I chase those 12-5s. I love 12-5 matchups.
Yeah, we all love it. We all love a 12-5, and McNeese went on a run last year. It's I felt the same way about them until I started getting deep into it. But I of course it's a 12-5, and anything can happen in those 12-5s.
Anything can happen in those 12-5s.
this is my only argument about Vandy. Vandy went through the SEC. They lost in the semis to Arkansas, correct?
No, they
Yeah,
lost in the finals
So
to Arkansas
they
today
lost to who?
or last
Vandy
night.
lost in the finals. Vandy's lost in the finals of the SEC tournament to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like they're very hot right now, and you could argue they should have been seeded higher.
They started the
And
season
like Sam is,
undefeated, had like a 4 or 5 game like skid over like the period of 10 games, and got hot right back again at the right time.
yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the upset in this region
Whatever.
happening, unfortunately.
Whatever.
Like it's very similar to the like how we've been hitting on. It's the other matchups where if you look at where Vanderbilt, Vandy was, like Sam mentioned it. Yeah, they lost today. That game was closer than what the 11-point final was when they lost to Arkansas, and Acuff went nuts in the second. Actually, it wasn't even
Acuff
Acuff. It was
went
Trevin Brazil.
crazy.
Well, no, but it was Brazil down the stretch that killed Vandy.
But who got him the
if you
ball?
no, I know. I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying if you look at what Vandy did too, like how we were talking about, we're talking about how they are neutral floors in a way. Vandy is if you combine their away and neutral record, they're 13-5 on away and neutral floors. They travel well. They started off hot. Yeah, like they went through they started off I think 14 or 15-0. Then they lost 3 straight when their point guard got hurt, and then they finally adjusted.
And they haven't lost to any team that wasn't quad 1 or quad 2. So I'd be shocked to see them all of a sudden lose to McNeese.
Whatever, guys. Pick Vandy.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, in Dre, if we're talking just the SEC tournament, they beat Tennessee by 7. They beat Florida by 13, but that game was, by 18, and that game wasn't really close. And they just Arkansas just played better today, and I just think that
you guys could be right. You guys are right. I'm just loving the matchup.
line is. I think it could be an interesting matchup too because it's in Oklahoma City, so it's going to be kind of a neutral floor field because McNeese is in Louisiana, which is right there. Nashville is not that far from Oklahoma, so you're going to have probably a decent crowd of each if McNeese travels.
Yeah,
hey,
another great year for another. I've been mixing in like the college football stuff too. Vanderbilt, another great year.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, great.
Shout out to the Commodores, man.
Yeah. And it's one last point on them. It's another matchup that I just really wish, and please, for the love of God, Rico Bosco, do not see this, that Alabama was playing McNeese. If Alabama's playing McNeese, or hey, I'll toss my own team. If Mizzou's playing McNeese, Mizzou is like 209th in that assist to turnover ratio.
Somebody gonna clip how many times you mentioned Alabama today.
Yeah. I'm trying to get
somebody gonna clip that shit. I'm telling you.
Right. I'll toss in Mizzou then. If Mizzou turns over the ball like 10 times a game or more, if McNeese is playing them, then I'd be more interested in it. But if Vanderbilt's this careful with the ball, then it's going to be hard.
To me, this one is
Troy,
easy.
next. Yeah, I don't have any.
The way the
Cornhuskers
are playing, I don't really see a whole lot of. Not to say that Troy's not a good basketball team because they are clearly, but the way the Cornhuskers are playing this year, I want no smoke with Nebraska. I want none of it.
I've seen Troy. I've watched Troy play one time this year, and that was the crazy, I think, double or triple overtime game they beat San Diego State in at the beginning of the season. Other than that, I have not watched them play at all. I mean, like you mentioned, Nebraska is the 7th best defensive team by efficiency in the country. I want nothing to do with them defensively.
Nope.
Here's the thing about Nebraska. Fellas, how many NCAA tournament games has Nebraska won all time?
I'm going to say 0 because of why you're asking. Yeah,
0.
donut.
The Huskers have won 0 tournament games ever. But that does not mean that this isn't their year to get over the hump because it's got to happen at some time. Troy, so Nebraska thrives off of 3-point shooting, really solid defense. They do struggle in the interior on their defense. They rebound well, but they're not really big on the interior. Troy does have 3 players over 6'7" that can score and affect the game. And Nebraska kind of struggle. No, actually, I misspoke. They struggle to rebound and defend the paint. They kind of just struggle with size in general. This could be a horrible matchup for the Cornhuskers, which is really tough because God damn it, of all the schools that deserve a good matchup at this tournament and
It's
are really good,
Nebraska.
Nebraska deserves this. So I'm more than fine picking Nebraska. They've had a great year, but I'm just letting the people know that this could be a bad matchup for them. One of those bigs
Take
is
Troy in the
hurt.
points, then.
Yeah. That's a good point. Just do that. One of the bigs is hurt, so they're a little bit banged up, so it might not affect anything. But boy, oh boy, if Nebraska played this good this year and then still didn't get over the hump and lost to 13th seeded Troy,
It's got to be in their heads at this point. It would just be a mental block.
it would be a tough scene in Lincoln if that were to
Yeah.
happen. But I'm more than happy to pick Nebraska and go chalky here. Just warning, Nebraska, it could happen again, and I'm sorry.
This is, I think, the most interesting game of the first round.
Is Caleb Wilson
VCU
playing?
and North Carolina. No, he's out for the season.
ACL.
He's out for the season?
It's
Shucks.
done.
Yeah.
And they've not played
No,
good.
he didn't.
They have not
He
played
didn't tear
good
his
there.
ACL. He is not. He didn't tear his ACL. He broke his wrist and then came back and then broke his thumb in practice the day before he was supposed to come back.
Who tore their ACL?
Somebody tore their. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of who it is right now.
It's JT Toppin. Sorry.
Yeah, JT Toppin tore his ACL.
Anyway, yes, Caleb Wilson is not playing. He's their best player. They have not played well, particularly well without him.
I like the Rams then.
Yeah. It's going to be
the reason as well the committee seated North Carolina on the 6th line was strictly because of Caleb Wilson as well.
Facts. If they based it on how they played after Caleb Wilson got hurt, honestly, I don't know. They'd be closer to a 9 seed.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
And maybe
VCU is one of the hottest teams in the country right now too.
I want no parts of Nebraska, and then the Rams are on that list too.
Yeah,
I just don't want no parts of them right now.
Maybe this is just karma. So for UNC getting in the tournament last year, or was it 2 years ago, when their athletic director was like one of the people picking them in the tournament and came out and said it had nothing to do with me being the North Carolina athletic director, which sure, let me be the first honest person in sports media. I am a Missouri fan. I will root for the University of Missouri, and I wish more people would say this, because then we can not pretend that the UNC athletic director didn't have something to do with UNC making the tournament a couple of years ago, and we can not pretend that Jay Billis doesn't obviously root for Duke. So
hey, you leave Jay Billis alone.
Missouri fan. Jay Billis, great reporter. Just tell us you're a Duke fan at this point, man. Quit telling us you leave your biases at the door. It's not true. I'm taking VCU in this game. They also draw fouls at an incredibly high rate. And if you're missing your number one guard and a team just starts getting you to foul and slow the game down, why not the Rams?
VCU's won 16 of their last 17 games. I would not want to play them right now. And the way North Carolina's playing without Caleb Wilson, this was my pick. This was another one of my upset picks, if you even want to consider that, because I feel like if the public is going to move this line, they're going to push it to where it's closer to a pick.
Is that -1.5?
It was It opened at -1.5. It got bet up to -2.5. It's on Thursday. They play Thursday, right?
Yeah.
The 19th is that Thursday. On Thursday, I would not be surprised if this game is a pick 'em.
Yeah.
I'm all over
down
VCU
with
here. All over it.
Yep. And of course, this feels like an exact moment where it's like everyone's all over VCU because Caleb Wilson's hurt. And then that's the one that doesn't happen. But I'm rocking with it for now.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if everyone is gassing up VCU, North Carolina comes out and play a good game without the first time they played good without Caleb Wilson all year. It wouldn't blow me away.
I mean, to be devil's advocate, we can talk about how North Carolina and their president, whatever, got them into the NCAA tournament. They did win that playing game. They were a playing game, and they did win that playing game by 30.
And they did go on a run in that tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
They did blow out San Diego State by 30 in that playing game.
No, they did. And then they went on a run, and everyone was like, see, they should have been in. But, like, it was the principle of the thing, I suppose.
It's the principle.
Anyway, Penn State, Illinois. Brad Underwood, Fran McCaffrey, for the 300th time. Fran McCaffrey is leading his alma mater, Penn, instead of the Iowa Hawkeyes now. If anyone knows how to play,
let's just pick Illinois and call it a day, shall we?
That's fair. They have a very good player that was at a high-level program, like a power program in TJ Power, and then he transferred to Penn. But so he could be a difference in this game, but Illinois has 3 point of attack defenders in Kylan Boswell and Jake Davis and Ben Humberkaus, who are great. They have the Ivasic brothers in the back end. He's not going to be able to score them.
Man.
It's Illinois all day. Brad Underwood beats Fran McCaffrey for the last time, probably.
Illinois has got I call them the foreign team that I want no smoke with. They've got nothing but foreign dudes on that team, 6'5" and above.
The Balkan brothers.
Boy, I want no parts of the Fighting Illini. Let's move on.
Yep.
Next interesting matchup, which is kind of a Texas A&M home game, is because the game's in Oklahoma City. Texas A&M as the 10 seed playing St. Mary's, the 7 seed. Line on this game is 2.5 St. Mary's.
I didn't know what to think about this game. I only have 2 pieces of information for the crowd. St. Mary's has lost to 5 teams this year. Gonzaga, Vanderbilt, Santa Clara, and Boise State. And they've only lost 5 times, and those are the 4 teams they've lost to. Sorry. Those are all, aside from Boise State, in the tournament at large teams, except for Gonzaga, who won the West Coast Conference tournament, but obviously Gonzaga would have been at large as well. These are at large teams. They've lost only 5 times. Texas A&M was a firmly on the bubble team with some pretty bad losses. That's about all I have. I don't really know where to go with this.
I mean,
you go for the Aggies,
if we look at St. Mary's, St. Mary's. So if we look at the quad 3, quad 4, St. Mary's was 17-0 against quad 3, quad 4. If we look at quad 2, quad 1, they were 9-5 overall. So they're, like you said, their 5 losses were in 2 NCAA tournament level teams. Texas A&M
contenders in Gonzaga and Vanderbilt, honestly, too.
Texas A&M struggled against better teams. You know, they beat up on the bad teams. They went 12-0 in the quad 3, quad 4 games. But when they played NCAA tournament level teams, they were 9-11. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are going to take Texas A&M strictly because it's an SEC school, and you can see there's picks are pretty. It's a home game. But I think this is the kind of game that St. Mary's wins. I don't know what it is. St. Mary's always is sneaky in the NCAA tournament. They were a 7 seed, but they were finished number 22 overall in the net rankings. If you look at like how Ken Palm is, they were 24th best analytically in the country, and they're a 7 seed. So I don't really understand. They're one of the schools I felt was underseeded as well. I have a hard time picking against St. Mary's in this game. I think Randy Bennett. I love Bucky. I wanted Bucky to coach at UNLV when they fired Kruger, but obviously he took the Texas A&M job, which I would take 10 out of 10 times. You know, St. Mary's is the 19th best team defensively in the country. They're the 43rd best offensive team in the country. They've only lost to NCAA tournament teams. I like St. Mary's, but I'll let you guys decide on that one.
I'm willing to recuse myself, honestly, from this because I really don't have a read on what is going to happen matchup-wise between like the personnel in this game or anything. I agree with you. Obviously, I brought up the point that St. Mary's has only lost a really good team. I think it's time to quit being like they're consistently frisky. They're just a good team. They've been in the tournament like 6 years in a row now.
They've always been a good team, is what people seem to forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
Cooper,
I'll take myself out.
honestly speaking here, Cooper, I think your point is pretty valid. This is the type of game that maybe St. Mary's can win.
So
So if you're on it, I'm down to take it with you, big dog. Let's go St. Mary's.
Yeah.
So to piggyback, I just found this stat. To piggyback what Sam said, St. Mary's is back in the dance for the 5th consecutive year. The Gales lost in the first round that they played in a WCC tournament, but that was to Santa Clara. They lost twice to Santa Clara, twice to Gonzaga, once to Vanderbilt, and they lost by 1 point to Boise State. They've only reached the Sweet 16 once in those 5 rounds, but they've won a first-round game is 3 of the last 4 seasons. They won their first game 3 of the last 4 seasons. Their problem is getting out of the second game.
It sounds like, Cooper, you've made the choice for us.
I'm fine with that choice.
I'm fine with I'm good with St. Mary's as well, but I'm just looking more at to talk about Bucky. Bucky, they had a lot of new players. They have 4 guys who shoot 39% or better from 3. They had they also have 3 players who finish very well at the rim. Every regular on their roster who gets rotation minutes shoots over 71% from the free throw line, and are also a top 25 team in the country in assist to turnover ratio. So this is like we've talked about, this is a very interesting style matchup because the reason why it's not Texas A&M is seeded low is because of their non-conference schedule was very weak, because they Bucky didn't book a very tough non-conference schedule. And opponents shot 62% at the rim. And if St. Mary's, their offense is getting to the rim and finishing, 42% of 47.5% of St. Mary's points come from 2-pointers. And if you're Texas A&M and you're giving up 62%, field goal percentage in the paint, good luck against a team that likes to get to the paint basically half of their possessions.
I don't
Move on, St. Mary's.
Up the Gales, baby.
Go Gales.
I don't think we have any question. Houston in a home game against Houston's playing their first round matchup in Oklahoma City. The second weekend's in Houston, but this is basically a Houston home game.
Yep. And congratulations to the Idaho Vandals. First time they've been in the tournament in like 30 years. Good for them.
But it's going to be the first time you've been in the tournament in 30 years. You're making a first round exit, baby. Next.
Hey. Yep.
So do we want to go back to the top, or do we want to just go up from the bottom right here?
Start from the bottom there. That's fine.
Or the bottom's cool too. It does not matter to me.
Nah.
Okay,
we're going to end up in the same spot.
Yeah.
This is the Midwest region. So the first round matchup
Iowa State
here, Tennessee State. Tennessee State's a good story. They hired Duke legend Nolan Smith. They hired him in July. He was a late hire. He got them to finish 23-9 and late season roster construction as well. Great story, but they're gonna get their ass kicked by Iowa State.
The way that Iowa State played against Arizona was everything I needed to see. They've got shooters, they've got everything. I love Iowa State this year.
And the Cyclones are playing in St. Louis, Missouri. It's still a decent drive from Ames, but the Iowa State faithful will be there.
They'll drive loud for sure.
Yeah, it's close enough. Iowa State all day.
This one here, I'm going to back out of because I don't like Kentucky. I don't like Kentucky at all this year. So if you're asking DeAndre, whoever's playing Kentucky, Santa Clara, they're a good basketball team, and I don't think I want any smoke with Santa Clara this year. So my pick would be Santa Clara, but I'm gonna let y'all handle this one because I don't like Kentucky this year.
If you want who I picked in my bracket, I picked Santa Clara.
Oh,
I don't like this Kentucky team either.
Exactly, I don't like this particular Kentucky team.
It's not.
But we can talk.
I think Mark Pope has honestly struggled at the helm of Kentucky. I think he's a good coach. I think he can right the ship. I just don't think this is the team.
He needs more time, I think. A little bit more time.
And the roster construction, Takeaway is a great player. They have great players on the team. The roster construction just doesn't really work as well.
It just feels like a bunch of dudes picked out of a candy bag granted, the candy's good, but you
It's
don't
good.
know what candy to really focus on. You got so many moving pieces and moving guys
Yeah.
that you could focus around on. You need to go get you a star and then go get you some role players, big dog. Because
Yeah.
honestly, that is what good college teams are made of this year. You got one star, aka Devonta, A-Cuff, etc. And then they are surrounded by athletes, shooters, rebounders, strict defenders, and you just have to follow. You got to follow the recipe, baby. So in
Yeah.
this scenario, I don't like Kentucky. I am all over Santa Clara.
Yeah. I think Santa Clara is a fine pick here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it either way, but I I think Santa Clara is fine. And look at that, the West Coast Conference, 3 teams in the second round.
I think it's like the Santa Clara, like people don't realize how good Santa Clara is.
Thank you, Cooper. They
Like-
don't understand.
They're an at-large.
They're an at-large bid. A WCC team at an at-large bid. When does that happen? Never.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Outside
Like,
of St.
they
Mary's,
finished.
never.
They were, and they have Herb Sendek as their coach. You know, Herb Sendek's a great coach. He was a coach at ASU for a long time. He was the coach, I think, of James Harden at ASU. He kind of found his home, bounced back, finally got Santa Clara to the NCAA tournament. He was on Kentucky staff with Patino. I mean, in non-con, they beat Xavier, they beat Reno, they beat Minnesota, they beat McNeese, but they lost to St. Louis, who's a great team, ASU, and New Mexico. So
yeah,
they swept by Gonzaga and they split with St. Mary's. I mean, they have the 38th best offense in the country. Defensively, they're 137, so they're right in the middle. Kentucky. This Kentucky team they were so hyped up because of their $20 million roster that they just haven't found guys that fit.
Scroll down on this for me. Scroll down on what you got going here. Yeah, keep going down. You know where you can get the team insight. So look at Kentucky's for me. Read Kentucky's. Go up a little, up, farther.
Come on. Can I pass it?
Yeah, it's right there, right there. The Wildcats. I'll read it on mine. I got pulled up. I'll read it on mine. You're good. Okay, listen to this.
Right
fellas.
here.
The Wildcats will need to play more disciplined ball as foul trouble and streaky shooting have hurt them against top rivals. And 6 losses in their last 10 games. They had a 30-point lead on Mizzou and nearly gave it up in the SEC tournament. They, as we talked about, have a really weirdly built team. Mark Pope really seems to struggle with just getting consistency out of them. That sentence, will need to play disciplined ball, foul trouble, and streaky shooting. That is a recipe for disaster.
If you're not playing disciplined ball in March, you probably not going to play disciplined ball at all. And that, no disrespect to what he's got going at Kentucky, but you got to realize, man, you can have all of the talent in the world. You have to figure out a way to make them mesh regardless of how much talent you got. Kentucky's going to be loaded next year because they got NIL money.
And they're a great program.
Again, you got to make it mesh.
Yeah, there are tons of programs out there that would kill to be Kentucky, even in this version of Kentucky. But that kind of thing where they struggle with discipline and foul trouble and streaky shooting, that is a recipe for disaster at this time of year. I'm on Santa Clara as well.
That's why they've lost 6 out of 10 coming into this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Virginia played Duke incredibly well. Now, it was Duke without their point guard and starting center, but Cameron Boozer was still in that game, and they played them as good as anyone's played them all year. Virginia, good season, right?
Yeah, I'm on board. This one, Tennessee, they're against the winner of Miami of Ohio or SMU.
So I think Miami of Ohio is going to lose this game pretty bad. All respect to Miami of Ohio, I agree that they should have been put in this tournament. They went undefeated in the regular season. What more do you want? I'm fine with them getting a first 4 game because I think it's still fair to say, hey, you still need to prove something to us, because it's not like they lost in the MAC championship. They lost in the first game to UMass, who did not have a good season.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
They either win by 20, they can beat a good team by 20, or they can lose to an awful team by 20.
So if you look at,
not been very good this year.
if you look at SMU's just quad 1 record, lost by 19 to Vandy, but beat A&M by 13, beat North Carolina with Caleb Wilson by 12, lost to, but then you have losses in there. They lost to Stanford by 20.
Yep. It's all over the place.
4-9. They're 4-1, 4-9 in quad 1, 5-4 in quad 2. Like you mentioned, they're kind of really all over the place. I think that Tennessee beats whoever comes out of that game.
I
really
think so
do.
too. Rick Barnes is too good of a coach to probably lose. But I just want to point out that if SMU comes with their A game, don't be surprised to see them pass up Tennessee, because this is not the best Tennessee team we've ever seen. This is not an unbeatable Tennessee team. So if they would come with their A game, they can easily lose. They can easily beat Tennessee, but I think Tennessee's a fine pick.
Here's Sam's
This one is
favorite
not hard
upset
for
pick
me.
against everybody who got a low seed can beat the team that they can beat in Alabama.
Yeah, I'm still
Sam,
not picking Hofstra.
You staying out of this one, brother, because I'm
still not
telling you, you
picking
got some
Hofstra in this game.
disdain for Alabama.
I enjoy Alabama. I enjoy what they listen. I enjoy watching a game of basketball where they unashamedly walk into gyms and they say, "We are shooting 83s tonight. If we hit them, you're losing by 100." And they say that to everyone. And they don't stop and think, "Oh, this is Duke. Maybe we should play this a little bit more straight up." Nope. No. More threes. I don't think Hofstra quite has enough. The next round is where I get a little interesting on Alabama.
Yeah, which is also completely fine. But in this matchup against Hofstra, I think Alabama runs them off the court.
So the problem with more previous Alabama teams was this current Alabama team has about 2 or 3 guys that can really get off the dribble too and attack. The other teams were they would have 2 or 3 scores, but they were all outside, pop up shoot. LeBaron Philon gets to the rim. I think this is a relatively easy win for Alabama. They're just going to boat race this team.
Yeah, they're going to beat the crap out of them. Give me the zips.
All right.
Moving on. Give me the zips. Moving
Here
on.
we go.
Akron's a good team.
Akron is a good basketball team. Give me the zips.
Good basketball team. To bid back, Akron won the tournament. Akron is small. They play very fast. They shoot a lot of threes. It's going to come up a little bit when they play Alabama, what I think about that game. And they play very gritty.
There it is again, another Alabama mention.
Listen, that's my big thing in this whole thing.
Bro, I think it's a smooth 5 times he has mentioned Alabama today.
Might be more.
Sam, you are hilarious, my guy.
They're just the number one team I think of when I'm like, who is careless with the ball? Who just chucks that and does not care?
Let me guess.
But
Alabama
every time.
So if we're going to talk about Akron real quick, since December 29th, they've lost 2 games.
They lost 2.
One was the Miami of Ohio, and the other game was that
close.
They lost to Troy.
Yeah, and Troy's good.
They lost to Miami, and Troy made the NCAA tournament. So,
give me the zips.
So here's my general thoughts about this game that I had written down.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
If there were no seeds,
they won 20. Sorry, they won 20 of their last 21 games.
Yes,
just to put that out there.
Yeah. If there were no seeds next to the name and it was just blind Texas Tech, Akron, I'd take Texas Tech. If there were seeds next to the name and JT Toppin was healthy, I would take Tech. I have to eventually at some point take a 5-12.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
It has to happen. The only issue I have is that, like I said earlier about 5-12s, usually it's versus a team that is not Texas Tech plays hard as hell. They play, even without Toppin, they've won games, and they play so fucking hard. It's unbelievable. Every possession, they dive out for the ball. They fight for the ball. They play hard as hell. That's my issue with this 5-12 is it's the 5-12 that I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Akron. It scares me that the 5-12 I picked is the team in this tournament that, aside from St. John's, I would call the toughest team.
Yep. You get no arguments from me, but we in March. And
Yeah.
your toughness is all your toughness point valid. The way they play basketball in Tech is valid. But unfortunately, you got a crappy number this year with the number 5 next to your name. And
You
if
lost your best player.
history repeats itself as it's done how many times, Cooper? A lot. So there's
My
some 512 that's going to lose. I hate
we
it to
haven't
be
picked
Tech.
one.
We haven't picked one. And the last one? I don't even know what the other one is. I'm scared. What's the other one? Go.
Wisconsin, High Point.
Wisconsin and High Point.
Those two were my two that I would pick. The issue is the only reason I would not ever pick this as the 512. I would pick Wisconsin High Point if JT Toppin was healthy. But that's the only reason that I'm on this game is that they lost their best player. Otherwise, it would be obvious that they just play too tough.
Just give me the light.
We're taking Akron.
I also do think this sets up for a crazy because Akron runs the floor hard and shoots the hell out of the ball. So does Alabama. That game will be crazy if it happens.
Just give me the zips.
So they have one common opponent between who they played. Ironically, Akron lost to Purdue by 18 in West Lafayette, but Texas Tech lost to them by 30.
Just give me the zips.
Texas
and
Tech
I will say,
hard
just to piggyback real quick off of obviously Christian Anderson's the best player. He's going to be a first round pick. In this, he's supposed to play, but he's injured, like you just said. So
they're out their two best players.
Yeah, you're going to be down your two best players. And Tavari Johnson for Akron, first team All-MAC, senior, 6 foot, made the leap in the scoring department this year, averages 20 points a game, 37% from 3, 80% from the line. He's also leads their team in assists and steals.
Just give me
He's
the
going to be
zips.
the best. He's going to be the best player on the floor.
That 12-5 is coming, boys. Just give me the zips.
No question. I'm taking St. Louis. I'm sorry.
St. Louis all day long.
All day. Hallmarks of a mid-major team that can make a deep run are size and depth in scoring. St. Louis has all of this. I think,
and a good coach.
And a good coach. Josh Schertz is a great coach. Georgia has a very, very talented rim protector center that I'm blanking on their name if somebody wants to help me out with that. Very talented rim protector center. Not a guy that really spaces the floor. He can hit like 1-3 a game, but really doesn't space out, doesn't put the ball on the floor, really plays around the rim. This screams to me, do you remember how badly Kofi Cockburn from Illinois played Cameron Krutwig from Loyola Chicago? When Kofi Cockburn was stagnant, could not move, had no lateral quickness, bad hands, and it was forced versus Cameron Krutwig to constantly come out and get cut behind. Illinois had no rim protection. That Loyola Chicago team cut them up. That's
Sam,
what
sorry, it's not Dominique Wilkinson's son, right? No.
No.
Jeremiah Wilkinson. It's not him, is it?
No. I would know it if I saw it.
Is it a big man?
Big man. He's their center. He's going to get brought out versus Robbie Avila. Avila is going to be at the point. He's going to be running the offense half the time, and they're just going to cut around him. And I think it's just a bad matchup for Georgia. And we've been waiting for this Robbie Avila tournament game for 3 years. We deserve it.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, baby.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yeah.
And y'all need to stop. He's nice,
gonna
though.
pull that center
I'll give him his praise. He's definitely nice.
He's going to pull that center out, and either that center is going to be forced to come out and guard him, and he's going to pass around him and get open layups for his team. Or if that center leaves him open, he's going to hit threes. And I just think it's a bad matchup, and St. Louis moves on.
Yeah, if you look at even just like the net ranking wise, they were the 30th best ranked team in the country based off of net and quality of wins. They were 8-4 against quad 1 and quad 2. They really didn't have any bad loss. They had one bad loss, and it was to Rhode Island, but that was it. I mean,
and they lost to Stanford by 1 on a freak. They fouled up 3, and like a freak play happened, and somehow Stanford hit like a crazy 3 or something, and a freak game happened. So they would have another quad 1 win. I think SLU just takes this. Go Billikens.
Yeah, go Billikens in this one. I'm up. And
Michigan,
then obviously Michigan.
Yeah, moving on.
They ain't losing.
Purdue's the
Purdue?
hottest country outside of St. John's. Braden Smith is getting that all-time assist record. He's
Who the hell
unbelievable.
is Queens?
Finally, this team started to put it together. Who is Queens?
Who the hell is Queens?
They're a small college
from
in
Charlotte.
North Carolina.
They're not from Queens. They're from Charlotte.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
from
know why.
Charlotte.
Well, the
They're
Queens are
they're
leaving
very
first
small
round.
school.
Yes.
This is the first. They moved up to Division I in 2022. This is the first time they
Nice.
were eligible to make the NCAA tournament,
And they did it.
and they made the NCAA tournament the first year they were eligible. They were 20. Obviously, I think it showed they were 21-13 this year. They won their conference tournament. They went on a. They were one of those lower seeds in their conference tournament to win they're in the A-Sun. So they were the 3 seed. They
You about
went
to
on
go
a
back to
run
the
and
A-Sun.
won their conference tournament.
They about to go back to
Yeah,
the
but
A-Sun.
they're
Too
going to
sweet.
get blown the doors
Yeah.
off by Purdue.
Good for them. Congratulations. I'm just glad that the Purdue seniors have finally started to all put together. Braden Smith obviously always had it. Trey Kaufman-Wren hadn't really put it truly together all year. And they've started to finally do it. And here we go. MIZ, baby.
You stay out
Missouri
of this.
is playing St. Louis. I'm
stay
going to
out of this.
recuse myself from
You stay out
from
of this.
this.
We know who you
I'm
want.
just going to give
Sam, you could be you be the homer tiebreaker if we need it, but I'm
Sure.
on Miami.
Sure.
I'm taking
that's
Miami.
fine. Just let me give you my facts. Also, something important you should know about Missouri fans. Missouri fans hate Missouri. This team has killed us, disappointed us, brutalized us in both football and basketball so many times that there's a famous tweet of somebody that says every other team, like their fans, like comment my mentions and like says, we're good because of this, we're good because of this. Mizzou fans come in the mentions and say, we suck because of this. This is why we're bad. Here is my facts, and I'll let you guys go. Mizzou has a defensive scheme that Dennis Gates has designed in both man-on-man and zone 1-3-1 scheme where they consistently let up open shots from 3. Miami does not shoot or make a ton of threes. Mizzou is playing a home game. St. Louis is an hour from Columbia, Missouri. Driven it plenty of times myself. It is a true home game, and that is where most of Mizzou's alumni live, is in either St. Louis, Kansas City, or Chicago. Miami wants it to be a physical game. Mark Mitchell and Sean Phillips Jr. love a physical game. That is where they thrive. The issue really is with Mizzou is Mizzou sucks in March. Dennis Gates has 1 win in March Madness in his 2 trips with the Tigers, and his team have lived to the finish every year. I believe he's total 1-13 in March as of now with the Missouri Tigers. They have been really good at home this year and over the past couple of years. Not the year where they didn't win a single conference game, of course, but they've been really good at home, and St. Louis is as home as it gets. I can't believe I'm taking the Tigers to win because, honestly, I don't believe in them at all. I think Miami might have been the only good 7-10 matchup for them, but I will gladly understand if people take Miami. The only actual argument I can say as a non-homer pick is they're literally playing a home game.
Those are valid points. My thing with Miami is they've turned up. Jay Lucas has turned that team around. They're very good in the NCAA tournament. Typically, when they had Larinaga, Miami's assistant head coach was on Dennis Gates' staff, so nothing has really changed in Dennis Gates' style of play.
Doesn't
Miami's
change.
gonna have.
You don't do
Miami's
it.
gonna have. Miami's going to have a very good scouting report. They also have a former Missouri player on their roster. What is it? Charlton Young was on Dennis Gates' staff for his first 3 seasons, and Miami also has a former Tiger on its roster, and Marcus Allen.
Oh, yes.
So it's kind of a revenge role for them. It's going to be interesting to see how they go. But Missouri, like you said, Missouri kind of they lost 3 straight heading into the week, heading into the big dance, including their loss to Kentucky in the SEC tournament. Miami was kind of very similar. Miami, they started off very hot and they kind of tapered off towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting. I think it's a team that you have 2 teams that are trying to figure out who they are, and if Dennis Gates is not that good in the NCAA tournament, like you mentioned. So I'm kind of torn on this one. I mean, I think it could go either way. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the spread's right. I mean,
Yeah.
2.5 is pretty much where it should be. It's going to be a bucket here or there. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to taking Missouri, but my lean is kind of Miami here.
Well, it sounds like it's up to the big dog. We got a Missouri pick. We got a lean towards Miami.
I'm not a Missouri pick, by the way. I am fully out of this.
Okay,
I will
fully out.
not
Whatever.
believe in
Whatever.
the Tigers.
The only slight I give to Missouri right now is the fact that they're playing in Missouri. Like that's
It's
big. That travels
unbelievable.
really well. But then you have to look at history. You have to look at how both teams are playing, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In my bracket, I did choose Miami. I chose Miami because I didn't, first of all, I didn't realize until you said it that they're playing in St. Louis. So that kind of made me sit here and think for a little bit longer. But I think my stance still stays the same because Cooper made the points that I thought of when it came to Miami. It's just like they're going to be a little bit more prepared, and Missouri doesn't really perform well in the NCAA tournament. So that's where my lean is. The team that's going to play, that's historically played a little bit better in the tournament. So
Fun
I'm
fact.
on the Hurricanes here.
Fun fact, if Nebraska had never, aside from them never winning a tournament game, Mizzou would have the all-time worst record of power schools in the tournament.
Yeah, that scares me. And I'm not saying like, damn, that scares me. But like I said, when Miami gets in the tournament, they usually turn up a little bit to a different level. And I think I'm on the Canes here.
Another school that's had a great year.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Miami.
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Gonzaga over Kansas State.
We're all on Gonzaga, are we not?
Yes, 100%.
I think those 95 people, or however many people, 95,000.
There's Kennesaw State fans.
Those are Kennesaw State alumni. Yes.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
move
well-
we can move right along. This one, pull it up.
I can't open it because their matchup's not set. But it is Texas, the winner of Texas and NC State versus BYU.
This is a game. Wait, Sam, me first. I got to get this out.
Go ahead.
This is the game that the best player on the court will win it because he's the best player on the court. This matchup in particular, AJ DeBonsa, I don't give a damn who he's playing. He is I'm not going to say unstoppable because I've seen teams play a little bit tough defenses against him. However, if you let AJ DeBonsa get to that mid-range pull-up, again, guys, I can't state enough. It feels like he shot 80% on those shots. When he gets to that mid-range pull-up, good night. And he has good vision. When he attacks the rim, he's long, he's lanky, he finishes. I don't know who's his comp because I don't know if he shoots as well as a KD, but he can get to the rim like Edwards. I don't know who he is. AJ DeBonsa will win the first round matchup BYU has just simply because his name is AJ DeBonsa. But that second round matchup against Gonzaga, I'm sorry, that's where the story will end.
Fun fact: NC State and Texas, they've already played each other once this year. It's a rematch of the Maui Invitational.
Oh, yeah. Who won?
Let me pull it up. But I just realized that. But they played each other once already.
So I, number one, fully agree with you, Dre. AJ DeBonsa is the best player in this game, and he is the X factor.
Sorry, Sam. To answer your question, Texas won that game 102-97.
Okay, well, close one, high scoring. Take the over in that game.
Scoring almost 200 points. I like that.
Take the over in that game, ladies and gentlemen. That first 4 game, that's free money.
Yeah, hello, that's an over.
So AJ DeBonsa
did not go to overtime either. They scored 115 points combined in the second half.
Insane.
So neither of these teams
play defense.
I've played Texas this year. I haven't watched a lot of NC State, but neither of these teams play defense. That's also really bad for any team playing BYU. Yes, BYU is banged up. Yes, Richie Saunders is either hurt out or like is going to be playing.
I think he's out.
He's out for the season.
He's out
for the season. He tore his ACL.
Okay, so I fully agree. AJ Dubonsa is the best player in this game, will be winning this game. Texas and NC State give up a ton of points. My other point was going to be on this topic. The bubble was dog shit this year. None of them made a run at the conference tournament games. None of them impressed anybody. What ended up happening is every team on the bubble basically lost out. And they were like, okay, whoever was on the bubble in the last 4 and 2 weeks ago, you're still in because none of you impressed us in the last 2 weeks. They're
I
not
agree.
playing good in this tournament. It's going to be BYU in this game. AJ Dubonsa will score 30. And I also was thinking KD, if you kind of remember, had to develop his shooting over time, especially going to his left. So probably not as polished of a product as KD, but that length, that offensive ability, I don't mind that comp, Dre, at all.
Yeah, he reminds me. He reminded me of, but KD's such a good shooter, and I thought he was always a good shooter. Even when he struggled at Texas, I said, man, when he just lines that thing up correctly, he's gonna be an amazing shooter. And the way Devonta plays the game, I just think, good Lord, if no one can stop you getting to that middle mid range pull up, take that for the rest of your life. Because when I tell you that shit is butter, it is absolute butter.
Absolutely.
It's got to be like
Dre and
80%.
Sam, I know you guys say KD wasn't a very good shooter in college. He shot 47% from the field, 40% from 3, and 81% from the free throw line.
So
yeah, we can play that back, Cooper. Hey, he may not have been as polished, but I got that motherfucker can shoot.
I should explain that more. That comes from a quote from Kobe Bryant, where Kobe Bryant basically said KD was unstoppable coming into his rookie year. His only issue was pulling up to his left and finishing with his left hand. So I would push him to his left every time, and that's the only time he struggled. Obviously, KD is infinitely more polished than Dubonsa, though.
By miles.
If you actually go back and look at KD's stats, 25.8 points per game, 11 rebounds. Where's his assists? He had 1.3 assists, but their team was not good. It was just him and DJ. 6'8".
6'8". Okay, is
he's
that
6'8"?
KD 6'8", where he's actually 7 foot, or is that just the true 6'8"?
I don't know. I would have to do some digging on that. But
I mean, but you put in his length and the way he moves. He's kind of got a herky jerky style to get you off balance, and then he's just blowing right past you. Dubonsa, I think there's another level he can reach. That's what I'm saying. Like his ceiling is so untapped because he can get a better handle. Once he get a better handle, you won't know what to do with AJ, and then he'll have to refine that three.
Yeah.
He doesn't shoot. I don't think Dubonsa shoots that three at a high clip. He hits big shots, but I don't think he's a 3-point shooter. Yeah, I don't think he's a 3-point shooter, which isn't bad, but I think he's more of a shot creator. To me, like his shooting percent reminds me of like Ant, because Ant doesn't shoot. He shoots the three well, but in huge spots. If that makes any sense.
Dubonsa's averaging 25 points and 6.7 rebounds a game.
Very good.
Sorry, I know we keep talking about Ant, but what did Ant was a monster at Georgia. Ant didn't put up those type of numbers at Georgia.
People don't remember. He was good. People also don't remember Ant as well because I believe he was COVID year.
19-20. He averaged 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists a game at Georgia. Shot 50% from twos.
Yeah,
he shot 20, but he shot 29% from 3.
Yeah,
he probably shot a lot of shots though. He took
15.8 shots per game. 7 of them were threes.
Yeah, so half of his shots were threes. We knew Ant could shoot the three, but at a high clip like that, no. But does Anthony Edwards hit big shots? 100%.
Well, yeah. This game breaks my heart.
Yeah, you got to move Darius Acuff on, man. I'm sorry. That's the best guard Calipari's ever had. And we can talk about it because D Fox wasn't even this good. He was just fast.
I don't think Acuff is better than Derrick Rose. I'm sorry, I don't. Not at Memphis.
No,
Derrick Rose was another.
I won't give you Derrick Rose. I'm not going to give you D Rose. I'm sorry. D Rose was a beast in Chicago when he was on the Bulls. And I'm not saying he wasn't good at Memphis. But my problem is he didn't shoot the ball this well. Darius Acuff shoots the piss out of the basketball. And he shoots it at a high clip. And he gets his teammates involved. Derrick Rose wasn't doing that. He was only averaging like 7 assists. Darius Acuff he could easily average double-digit assists if he wanted to. But the dude is so polished as a scorer. He can finish. He can jump. He can shoot that mid-range. He can shoot that long ball. You could have, I'm sorry, Derrick Rose, I think we're missing like college performances, not his overall NBA performance. Because Derrick Rose, to me, is better than a lot of point guards that Calipari's had if you're talking about their NBA careers.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about their college careers, I can't get into a debate about Darius Acuff because the dude he's insane.
He is. I would say his only problem right now is a little bit of injury issue, but like that's not on him.
That's not on him. He's still, when he's healthy, he's on the floor. He's giving you everything he's got. He's going to score 20. What is his average? 24 a game, 23 a game?
2.7 with 6.5 assists. Acuff shoots 48% from the field, 43.7% from three.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Derrick Rose wasn't doing that. And neither was De'Aaron Fox because he wasn't shooting that at a high clip like that.
What about, I mean, I'd probably put Acuff up there with John Wall for me with Calipari.
Well, John Wall was Calipari's best point guard before Darius Acuff, in my personal opinion, because John Wall was, gosh, man, at his peak, was he not one of the most dynamic players? Gosh, man, I remember that. Everybody do the John Wall, Wall.
Literally got a, yeah.
I feel bad for Hawaii though, because Hawaii, made the tournament for the first time in a long time. They're in Vegas, so they're gonna travel to Portland. They're not gonna obviously go back to the islands. They're gonna be on the road for, they've been in Vegas. They played 3 games in Vegas. They've been here for over a week. They're gonna be on the road again for another, whatever it is, week, 2 weeks, depending on if they win. Like, it's gonna be a long stretch for them. They're probably gonna have an early out, but they're a great story. Sam can hit on it, but they are very good defensively.
They are. Here's why this breaks my heart. I won't mention Alabama, but everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Jesus, Sam, are you kidding me?
Arkansas, I'm obviously taking Arkansas in this game. Arkansas is one of the hardest in the country. Arkansas can defend. Arkansas has one of the best players in the country. Arkansas has a little bit of depth. Arkansas has depth of scores. Arkansas is amazing. I'm giving them their flowers. I also hate Arkansas, not as much as Kansas, but nearly. I think Wu Pig Sui is stupid. But anyway,
Easy.
Hawaii deserves to be celebrated. Hawaii runs a defense where it's called no help. They do not help. They do not switch, really. They don't help. Every single person is basically face guarding their guy, and it's a one-on-one game, which works really well in college because you don't have a lot of guys that create, and you don't
not against Darius Acuff.
But not Darius Acuff, and not against, you can't do that against Darius Acuff. Either he's going to score 40 points, or you're going to have to start helping, and then all their other shooters are going to be open, everything's going to be open, and it's going to be done. But this Hawaii team, listen to this stat. Their defense, inside the arc, their opponent's score is 46%. 46% they make, and from 3, 30.7%. That's combined the best opponent percentage, worst opponent percentage in the country. Because they literally force you, and yes, they're in a worse conference, play worse teams, but they literally force you to, you individually have to beat our defender. Because we're not helping. We're not giving you open wing 3 shots. We're not going to do it.
And that works against a team that doesn't have a star. That really does.
And that works against a team that doesn't have a star, and it works against even maybe a team that has a star, but they might be able to hold. Maybe he scores 40, but the other team guys can't get open. This Arkansas team is too deep. They're too hot. I feel bad for Hawaii. I wish they were playing.
No parts of Arkansas right now. I'm sorry.
No.
And this one to me isn't hard. This is another 12-5 that we've been checking. But hey, Wisconsin's a damn good basketball team, and I just want no parts of the Badgers right now.
I think they're honestly underrated. I think Wisconsin's been underrated all year. I think they played good all year.
You look like you'd look at a double-digit loss team, and you think, oh, they're not happy. Look, Wisconsin, they've had their ups and downs. They've had their bumps. But you got to look at the facts when it comes to the Badgers. They're a damn good basketball team. They're very disciplined. They're going to play defense. They're going to rebound that basketball. And if it's not there on the fast break, they will pull it out and run some offense. So that translates in the tournament. That really does translate. It just sucks that they're on that historic 12 seed that you guys know I love. Love my 12 seeds, but this is just one of those matchups I just want no part of. So I'm going to take Wisconsin, and if High Point beats them, cool. We've got some March Madness in this piece, but I don't see it happening here.
I fully agree
I
with
don't.
you. They're
agree
too
with you,
solid.
Dre.
And High Point shoots the ball really well. They have a player that has shot like 2 twos all year and only shoots threes and shoots them at like 40%. And I'll be looking forward to watching him, hoping he has a Jack Golke type performance. But they make their runs and they get ahead of teams when they turn teams over. Wisconsin isn't a team that is not going to really let them get turned over. So if they're not going to get that 15 points a game they need out of the turnovers, this game's just not going to be good. Wisconsin's too good. Badgers all the way.
Yep, I agree. This is a very interesting matchup to me. The Utah State and Villanova. Utah State as the
Give me
9
the
seed
Aggies.
is favored by they're favored by 2.5 over Villanova. This is going to be a Utah State home game. You
Give me
know,
the
their
Aggies.
fans travel really well. I agree with you, Dre. I'm all over Utah State here. I thought they were going to be a 6 or 7 seed, but they end up being a 9 seed, and this is a very, very bad matchup for Villanova.
Every single one of my brackets has when I go through it, I kind of just do it off of like pure instinct because I do watch college basketball all day long. Like it's really one of my favorite sports to get into. Every single bracket. I've done 6 brackets on the little tournament challenge thing because I love that. It's awesome. Each one of them, Utah State's moving on because this Villanova team don't got Jay Wright no more. Is that the dude's name? The legendary
Yes.
coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin Willard's their coach now. He the guy who's at Maryland.
Yeah, and no
Yeah.
disrespect to Willard. He's a good, solid coach. But again, this Utah State team, I just think is a little bit. I think they got a little bit more juice. I love Utah State in this spot.
I have no read on this game. My only note on this game is I literally said, "Oh, the public is seems to be on the 9 seed. Maybe I'll fade the public, but otherwise I have no dog in this fight."
I think we've
Could
taken
not be
all 9
shocked either
seeds.
way. Have we?
I think we've taken
Yeah,
all 9 seeds.
I think we have 2.
9 seeds are ahead all time.
Yeah.
Got to look at the numbers.
So the thing with Utah State, they have the 28th best offense in the country. They have the 45th best defense in the country. You know, Mason Falslove is their best player. He won Mountain West Player of the Year. Jared Calhoun won Coach of the Year. Carson Templin. I don't like Carson Templin, but he is a very good player. He flops a ton, but he won 6th Man of the Year. They kind of cleaned up on the awards in the Mountain West. They only really have 2 bad losses all season, and you know that it breaks my heart that UNLV's one of their bad losses, but it is. You know, UNLV was a quad 3 loss for them because UNLV was that bad this year. But they finished 26th in the net. They're 28-6 overall. I mean, their 4 losses were all quad 1s. They lost to South Florida, who made the tournament. They lost to Grand Canyon. They lost to Reno, and they lost to San Diego State. But other than that, I mean, if you combine their quad 1, quad 2s, they're 13-5. They don't really have a bad loss. All of those teams I mentioned all are playing in the NIT.
Yeah, I don't think Villanova was as tested as we talked about earlier. The Big East wasn't as good this year. I have full respect for UConn and St. John's, and I love the Big East as a conference, but it just didn't seem to be as competitive as usual this year. And so, I mean, I think Utah State makes sense, but I'm fine either way.
So if we're looking at like the tough games if we just look at the quad 1s that Villanova played, they lost by 5 to BYU. They lost by 28 to Michigan. They beat Wisconsin. They beat Seton Hall, which is weirdly a quad 1 game. They lost to St. John's by 13. They lost to UConn by 10 and by 8. And then they lost to St. John's the second time by 32. So they haven't really played anybody, you know, like you mentioned, the Big East was down.
Close. Yeah. I'm fine with Utah State here if you guys are.
Yep.
And I already
Give me the
advanced
Ags.
I already advanced Arizona. because that game's not
Arizona's so
gonna be
damn
close.
good. Yeah, moving on.
Yep. Hey, fins up though. Fins up.
Yeah, Arizona's so damn good.
Do we want to go back to the East, or we want to stay in the West and go down the West and go circle back?
We all gonna end up in the same spot, baby.
I think
Keep it pushing.
I think this gets chalky very quickly, but I think there's like 3 Cinderella stories we could consider. Duke, Arizona winning. We can. I think Arkansas beats Wisconsin.
I agree with that one. I think it's going to be a good game, but I like Arkansas here. Arkansas is the better team.
I think they're both incredibly solid teams. It's just better.
I think we can all agree that Gonzaga is going to beat BYU as well. The Devonta story will probably come to an end there. I think Mark Few's
without Richie Saunders, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, Mark Few's I love Mark Few. I don't care what people say about him.
Yeah, good coach. Great coach.
Very good coach.
So hold on, we got to go back to this Wisconsin-Arkansas game. We're on Arkansas here. Arkansas is just
I am on Darius Acuff there. Yeah, absolutely.
On the floor.
Absolutely.
They're so hot too.
Dude.
I'm taking St. John's over Kansas.
Me too. I'm with that.
I'm taking St. John's as well.
Yep.
I just think St. John's is too well coached. They're too well defensively, and the Darian Peterson question is just too big. It can get them past Cal Baptist. It's not getting them past Pitino. You're going to need a 35, I think a 30 point plus performance by Darian Peterson to get past that St. John's team.
Cal Baptist game. I think we'll know after the Cal Baptist game what to expect of the St. John's Kansas game. Darren Peterson comes out and looks the part of the star he should be. Then all of a sudden that St. John's Kansas game is really great. And then both of those teams I think can beat Duke if Duke is still hurt at that point. But if I'm going to go with St. John's for now because that's what I've seen. I have no proof to tell me that Kansas can play, and if they're both defensive teams, I'm going to take St. John's.
Yep. I like Michigan State.
So do I.
Michigan State struggles to score often, and really their offense can get into really bad ruts. Is this a spot where USF, with 5 good starters, or 5 or 6 players they really trust, that they really believe in, could this be a place where we actually get a Cinderella again?
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but I just feel
it's very possible. It's the NCAA
I just don't think
tournament.
Cinderellas happen against. I just, you know how we talk about Pitino and blocking Cinderellas. I just don't think Cinderellas are going to happen against Michigan State and Izzo. If it was somebody else, if it was like a Wisconsin or somebody like that got through, or maybe even Kansas, because Bill Self is prone to get upset. Maybe, but I don't see Izzo. Izzo always gets through the first weekend and then loses in the Sweet 16 at minimum.
If he loses, he'll be in the Sweet 16
he'll lose to Cinderellas in the Sweet 16. He will lose to Cinderellas in the Sweet 16, but he really doesn't lose to them in the first weekend.
Yeah, I'm on Michigan here. Michigan State, I mean. For me, UConn is a move.
The greatest head coaching matchup of all time.
UConn's coach?
They're both crazy. Mick Cronin and Danny Hurley have a screw.
Danny Hurley is insane. But give me the Huskies. Give me the Huskies.
My opinion on UConn is, other than them losing to St. John's, he has them playing like the team that won the national championship 2 years in a row.
And he must have had
one of the
best
teams in the country.
He must have had a practice where he absolutely ripped them, because the way that UConn's been playing the last month and a half, I ain't got to be honest, man. I want no parts of the Huskies.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we're still seeing and I think that we'll still be looking for UCLA and their 2 best players to possibly still be dealing with lower leg injuries.
To try to come back in a second round matchup.
Yeah, after already playing a game a couple days before.
And against Hurley's crazy.
Yeah, I just see UConn going to Sweet 16, no problem there.
Easy.
I think we're all on Purdue here.
Purdue, until this week, I was fully on. I wasn't going to pick a 15 seed over them. Obviously,
they could have got upset,
been a lower
but
seed.
I see what you.
Big Ten tournament. But now they're so hot and they're playing so good that, unless St. John's or somebody that can truly get in front of Braden Smith. I think Illinois can if they would be in that side of the bracket. They could possibly get in front of Braden Smith. If he's able to cut up, I mean, it's just done. Florida's kicking the shit out of Iowa.
Facts. I like Nebraska in that
I'm
next
all over
matchup.
I think Nebraska.
They're too small.
Uh,
Inside, they're going to get abused inside.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
I think Vandy.
Oh yes, I told you.
I'm
I think
torn.
Vandy.
I
I
I'm
think
torn
Vandy
'cause
wins because Nebraska struggles inside.
Yeah, I like Vandy here too. I think Nebraska wins their first round game. They finally get over that hump, but Vandy's just too good right now.
All right, fine. 2-1. Give me Vandy.
Sorry. Michigan, St. Louis.
Michigan.
I'm going to take Michigan.
No, St. Louis. I'm sorry. St. Louis. Upset.
Really?
I like St. Louis in an
I'm fine
upset.
with picking St. Louis. They have all the depth to make an actual deep run. They really
Who's
do.
Michigan's best player?
Axel Lindenberg.
Over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
They lost. Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They lost their backup point guard he played significant minutes. I do think it bites them in the ass eventually. I'm fine with saying it's here. The problem with this Michigan team is when this Michigan team is on, which they've been on
for the last month,
32 games this year, they were beating contending teams by like 25 in December.
All right, 2-1.
They'd go and they'd play UConn and they'd win by 25. I would love to pick SLU. I just don't know if I can. I'd be glad to look at the rest of the bracket and come back.
That's fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah, if we want to come back, we can come back to that one.
Let's
But
leave it for now because I do like the idea of considering it.
Okay. Thank you guys for evaluating my opinion. I love you guys. Thanks.
Oh, so we're on to Sam's favorite team.
No. Oh no. Oh no. Here it is, the Alabama Whisperer. Tell me what you got.
Listen, they play the same style of ball.
So who's better at this style of ball?
I'm taking the over in whatever this total is.
Whatever this game is, we're taking the over. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Alabama's better at this style of ball. But
then we pick Alabama.
Boy, oh boy. It's just whoever's hitting their threes better. It seems like whoever's hitting their threes better. And why can't Akron do that?
Come on, Sam. Who are we picking?
Are we taking Akron?
No. Oh no.
So bad.
But don't 12 seeds usually, if they win their first round matchup, they get to the Sweet 16?
Do they? Is that a thing?
Let me think about yeah.
Since 2014, four seeds have won the 14 of 15 meetings with the number 12. The only 12 seed to win that in that span was Oregon State, which beat Oklahoma State in the second round. So no,
right,
this is where 12 seeds die.
This is where they die. Alabama.
I cannot reiterate how much I want to pick Akron.
We know. That's the craziest part about it, Sam. We know.
I don't. Illinois has really struggled the past month, but I don't think VCU.
So hold on, you see this stat?
Yeah.
From 2010 to 2022, number 3 seeds and 11 seeds have split in their 24 meetings. However, in the past 3 years, the 3 seeds won all 4 matchups, all by double digits.
So the Illini is the move.
I would say the Illini. VCU, if it was maybe a different team, because VCU is just we're going to get you to foul us. I think Illinois is
I haven't seen a VCU team I believe in since. Didn't Mo Alley Cox play there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think he was on that team that went to the Final Four with Shaka.
With Shaka Smart? Yeah, I ain't seen a good VCU team since then. I just don't trust them. Give me the Illini.
And if you're going to try to foul out the Illini are 9 deep, 10 deep.
Dude, they run deep, and they're foreign.
Yeah.
So they all are good with running deep.
I think the 10 seed Cinderella right here ends. I think Iowa State takes out Santa Clara.
Iowa State's going to beat the shit out of Santa Clara.
I think Houston's gonna probably blow out St.
Beat the
Mary's
shit
as
out of
well.
St. Mary's. Yeah, Uzon not having none of that this year. No.
No, we haven't talked about Tennessee, Virginia yet.
No, we need to go back to that one.
Virginia is the team that always just pisses me off every single tournament, every single one.
So here's this stat from 2008 to 2023. 3 seeds were 22-5 against 6 seeds. However, the past 2 years, six seeds are 3-1.
I'm gonna take Virginia because Virginia's playing good ball and Tennessee is not playing consistently good ball. But that's it.
I kind of want the upset here. I mean,
I
if
don't
we're gonna
mind
follow
that.
the trend, I don't mind the upset either.
Sam,
Yeah.
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Wasn't Virginia the first team that ever lost to a 16 seed?
Yes, they were. And then they went back and won the tournament the next year with the same starting 5, basically. But yes, they did. To UMBC.
I don't
First 4 team.
know, man. I like Tennessee here. I don't know.
Listen, Rick Barnes.
Virginia's good.
Virginia is good. Rick Barnes is also good in the tournament, and Tennessee isn't bad, but they haven't been great. Virginia
They've lost four of their last 6. Yeah, they've lost 4 of their last 6 coming into this game.
Tennessee.
If they win this game, if they were to win the first round, they would have won 4 of their last 7. Or lost 4 of their last 7. Excuse me. Not win.
Fine.
So,
give me Virginia.
They're not playing good basketball, but I mean they should be able to get through Miami, Ohio, SMU, but I don't know if they can get through Virginia. I just think that trend's gonna turn back the other way.
Yeah. And now, we still have to. Are we gonna talk about SLU Michigan again?
Oh my God!
We got to do SLU Michigan.
Okay, let's get. Okay, I'm gonna get deep into this one. Actually, I'm gonna really. Okay, so
the last time a 9 seed beat a 1 was 2018. Just so we know, I'm putting that out there. 76-6 all time.
It hasn't happened in a while, bro. Hold on, man. It hasn't happened in a while. We got to start taking that into account too. But is this Michigan team the one I want to pick on?
They were boat racing Gonzaga and Illinois and
I know.
Why did St. Louis get fucking Michigan? If they had Florida,
I would have picked St. Louis all day if they had if they had Duke, I'd have picked Duke. Yeah, Florida's the only number 1 team. But if they're in the Florida's bracket, I would have took them.
Where is this game at? It's Michigan's crowd. It doesn't matter. It's Michigan crowd.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
It's a Michigan crowd. They travel.
If it's round of 32, it's in Buffalo.
Yeah, Michigan's going to be there.
Give me the Wolverines.
I would love to say St. Louis can win this game, but I just can't.
I can't see it. I'm trying to see, like, how you squint really hard to try to see something, and you try. No, I can't see it.
And their bigs are mobile, and they can run a bunch of different guys, and they're deep too. And unless this is I think we still go with Michigan. The only thing that I can see is if the Kaysen injury really starts to hurt them.
Yeah.
Their backup point guard.
So is this where Alabama's run ends?
Yes.
Yeah, they're done.
Yes.
They're toast. And when Alabama plays a team that's actually like strongly consistent contender, they get crushed.
Iowa State
Florida
over Virginia.
Vanderbilt rematch.
Oh, give me Florida Vandy.
So Vanderbilt
just beat Vandy.
Vandy just beat Florida by 18 in the SEC tournament. But, is there a revenge factor there for Florida?
Who's their best player?
I mean, I don't see
Thomas Howe.
Thomas Howe.
Who's the best player on the floor when both teams are on the court?
Probably Howe and Condon are probably better than overall than probably anybody Vandy can put out. I think that Florida has been. Florida's a really good elite team. They have been all year. I think they've been significantly helped by the fact that they won. Do you think if they hadn't won a national championship last year, that they would still be this 1 seed? Honestly,
No,
No, I think
no.
they'd be on the 2 line.
I think they'd be a 2-line too.
I still think Houston should have been a number 1 seed, but I digress.
Yeah, but so hold on. Who are the 1 seeds? It's Florida, Michigan.
Florida, Arizona. No, Florida.
Arizona, Michigan, Duke,
Yeah,
Florida.
So only 2 of the 4 won their conference tournament, right?
Yes.
hmm
Now there's Arizona and Duke, which are arguably the 2 best teams in the country. Michigan lost in the final, but they've been boat racing everybody all year. Florida, they were off to a very, very slow start, and Golden got them rolling. I mean, they
Are we
finished
taking Vandy
net
here?
ranked number 4.
What's Florida Vandy this year overall?
Florida beat them 98-94 at Vandy, and then lost to them by 17 in the SEC tournament.
Is that their only 2 meetings? They didn't double up this year.
Yeah, they only played twice.
Can we revisit this one?
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
know.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
Wait. Yeah, no, they only played twice.
Okay, let's revisit this
I-
one because I want to think about this.
Illinois and Houston.
Is this the Keaton
Huh?
Wagler game? Is this the game where
This is-
Keaton
this is
Wagler plays?
This is in
incredible?
Houston. This is in Houston, FYI.
Give me the
It's
give me
in
the Cougars.
Houston?
Give me the Cougars.
I will take the Cougars then. Yeah,
I will take the Cougars.
cool. That's as
Moving the
easy
hell
as it
on.
gets.
That's crazy. Yeah. Houston plays insane when
Yeah,
they got the crowd behind. They are nasty when they got a crowd behind them.
Yeah, that game. I think that game's at Toyota Center, if I remember.
Oh
correctly.
my goodness.
My concern always with Houston is their offense, but if they're playing at home and Illinois is not as consistent as I'd like them to be, I just don't see it as much. I wouldn't be shocked if Keaton Wagler would come in and drop 35, and really make it a tough game. But
I wouldn't be surprised if
it's
Fleming
at
had a 20-point, 10-assist night and Houston beats him by 15.
Yeah. I can't, against my better judgment, argue for Illinois when Houston's at home.
Nope. Give me the Cougs.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, the Elite 8 Sweet 16 is at the Toyota Center in Houston.
Yeah.
Yep. Cougars.
The Cougars.
Cougars for 800, Alex.
Iowa State, or Virginia?
please. Iowa State, please.
Virginia has looked really good, but Virginia looked really good and played Duke close, and Duke was missing 2 starters. I'm gonna take Iowa
Mom
State.
Silkovich, baby.
Bro, he's got
Silovich.
a sniper on him, bro. He crazy.
Don't.
Bro got
Okay,
a sniper on him.
I'm gonna take
Gonzaga, Purdue.
Gonzaga.
I don't know. I'm torn on this
Gonzaga.
I have a stronger
Gonzaga.
opinion on a different game than this one. I don't know about this game yet.
Okay, we can come back.
St. John's over Duke.
Arkansas over Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh no! I hate going against Darius A. Cup, but Arizona's so damn good.
But
I think this is where the depth issue comes in. And
yeah, Arkansas doesn't have much firepower.
Arizona's just gonna. They only play. Calipari's only been playing 7 basically for most of SEC play.
Yeah.
So
I think they really struggle with depth, especially in the center position, correct? And bigs.
Yeah, and Arizona's just gonna keep coming at you. They go 10 deep.
I honestly would have went all 1 seeds except for Florida and this whole thing because of how much we saw the ones establish themselves this year. My thing with Duke and why I'm saying St. John's is because Duke is hurt. Unless their people are back, but Duke was not as dominant as they would have been against Virginia. It clearly was showing in that championship game.
Let's see. Hold on.
This is one of those games. I just truly, I don't know. I like St. John's too.
Duke is out 2 starters, and there's Caleb Foster is supposedly supposed to be back at some point, but Nagba sounds like he's probably out for the year.
I don't know. I'll take St. John's. But expect Boozer to still have a good game, but I'll take St. John's.
Yeah. I was speaking of, we talked about Devonta and like NBA comps and stuff. I think that there's fair reason to say Cameron Boozer is probably like the third or fourth pick in this draft. I also think he has the highest floor of any of these guys. I could
Depending
see
on what
Acuff
teams get
or
what pick and like what they
yeah,
need, like they're seriously, like Devonta should be picked regardless of the team because that's
yes,
just the dude you don't pass on. But when you get
yes.
past one, and it just
So,
is going to
sorry,
depend
I
who
don't mean
gets
to
the pick.
Yeah.
So,
He's
Caleb
just so solid.
Foster had surgery on his broken foot on Sunday, and Shire said that most likely he would not be back prior to the Final Four.
Yeah. And I'm
Nagba has been going through he's listed as day-to-day. He didn't have surgery, but he's listed as day-to-day. It sounds like it's just going to be a pain tolerance issue with him. So I highly doubt he could be coming back, but there's no guarantee that he comes back.
So let me put this out to you guys. Duke lost in the Final Four last year with not one but two guys they could honestly both win Rookie of the Year in the NBA this year under John Shire,
Yeah.
and they do not
I
have
like
Cooper Flagg or Con Knipple this year.
All right, St. John's it is.
Patino has a losing record all time against Duke, but I mean he just couldn't beat he couldn't beat Krzyzewski. I think he takes Shire to school coaching wise. I like St. John's here.
I do
It's a
like John
bad
Shire as a
matchup for
coach,
Duke.
though. That's a horrible
John
matchup for
Shire's
Duke.
I'm
He's
not
good.
saying I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying that I would take Patino 10 times out of 10.
Patino also has 50 more years of experience, of course. As
Yeah.
well.
I think UConn
This is
tramples Michigan State.
this is where Michigan State's when they struggle with offense and
Yeah.
maybe Jeremy it's a technical. This is where it kills them.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. So we going back to Purdue and Gonzaga.
There was another one we did below that we hadn't picked yet too, correct?
Oh, yeah,
Florida
Vandy.
How often, I mean, how many times has a team repeated except for 07-08 Florida?
UConn.
UConn.
UConn did it 2 years ago.
Yeah. Aside from
yeah, they did. You're right.
It was Florida 07-08, and then UConn back to back.
This team is not repeating, though. This team's not good enough.
I don't know.
Because they lost.
I
their
think
guard play isn't good. It's not as good as it was.
I think if we're going to go ahead a little bit, I think they beat Vandy, but they lose to Houston. I think Houston gets them this time.
Houston not playing no games. Weren't they in a title game last year, Houston?
Yep.
Yeah, they were up and they blew it.
And this is a repeat title game.
It's an obsession with Houston at this point. I would pick Houston to beat whoever it comes in. Yep.
And it comes in. It's a home game for Houston.
Yep.
Another home game. Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, Elite Eight, those two games are at Toyota Center. That's going to be 90-10 Houston.
All right, fine. I want Purdue.
Yeah.
Can we look at some of the stats on that?
So here's the write-up on. I mean, Purdue's one of the hottest teams in the country. ESPN picks Gonzaga to win this game, 53-47. 2 seeds are 38-24 against 3 seeds all time. 2 seeds have won 4 of the last 6 meetings against 3 seeds. I think this is a very difficult matchup analytically.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know here, but I like Purdue.
Does Purdue keep, like, they would have had to win how many at this point? 9 in a row if they would win this game?
Yeah. I'm torn on this game. I've been torn on this game. I think in my own bracket, I took Purdue. Gonzaga also has injury issues. where they're not as deep. They don't expect Huff to be back, and I think that Purdue's just going to be too much, in my opinion.
Was this the first year that finally everybody was like, okay, we're fully out on Purdue. This Purdue team is the same thing every year. Every year they have good players, and we're finally fully out like mid-February, and this is finally the year they might actually get something going. Because it seems that it could be that way, and I'm fine with rocking with Purdue.
They have a good route, I think. I think Gonzaga's a good matchup for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fine with saying Purdue.
What about
St. John's, UConn. Once again, St. John's, UConn.
So hold on, sorry. The last time Gonzaga played Purdue was in the Sweet 16 in 2024. And Gonzaga won that game, or Purdue won that game by 12. That was Zach Edey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2024?
That was 2 years. Zach Edey's only been, yeah.
Zach Edey and Braden Smith played in that game. Zach Edey had 27 and 14. Braden Smith had 15 assists, 2 turnovers in that game.
They still, yeah.
He torched Ryan Nembhard.
Oh, yeah.
Trey Kaufman and Wren played in that game as well. And so did Fletcher Lawyer.
Damn.
They all played in that game. So, I mean, I just think Painter has Few's number.
Yeah.
I mean, so here's your Elite Eights in this region.
A rematch of the Big East Tournament Final. Can we petition, if this happens, petition NCAA, CBS, whoever has this game, I want John Fanta on the call if it's St. John's, UConn.
Stupid.
It has to be John Fanta. It has to be John Fanta. You have to have it. I'm going UConn here.
What's their record this year?
I don't know.
Even
St. John's is 2-1. They played 3 times. St. John beat them by 20.
Rick Pitino or Danny Hurley's crazy ass.
St. John's beat them by 20 in the Big East final. What was it before that? UConn beat them by 32 in Hartford. That was the game that St. John's only scored 40 points. And then St. John's beat them in Madison Square Garden by 9.
I think I'll probably say UConn too, because as much as I love St. John's and their edge and Rick Pitino, they do still have the problem that they had last year where occasionally their offense can really struggle.
It goes
and
dry.
UConn doesn't seem to have that problem.
Yeah, okay. I don't see it, unfortunately.
I'm okay with that.
I think this is just UConn.
Zona.
Yeah, I'm taking Zona here.
I think Michigan's dominance has outweighed how people have looked at Arizona. Arizona would be much more revered if Michigan had not been doing the same thing all year, and if Duke didn't have Carlos Boozer's son.
So the only game we have left that we haven't picked is Michigan and Iowa State.
Is this injury problem at Michigan eventually going to bite them?
I like Iowa State.
When does it bite them?
Yeah.
I like Iowa State.
Can we get the stats on that too? They didn't play this year, did they?
No, I don't think so.
I can't even say that shooter's name. Imahivovic, what is his name?
The last time a 2 seed beat a 1 seed was Michigan State over Duke in the Elite Eight. Or last time that happened in the Elite Eight. Number 1 seeds have won 6 straight meetings against the 2 seeds, and they're 41 and 30 overall. So it's pretty much a pick at this point.
I said Thanksgiving week after watching Michigan beat, I think, Gonzaga by 40, that I wasn't going to pick against them. A backup point guard's injury is not enough for me to start, I guess. Like,
yeah,
Michigan. Iowa State has also lost way more games than Michigan this year.
All right. Give me the Wolverines then.
I'm on. So our final 4 is Michigan.
You got to pick Michigan. Yep.
Yep. Michigan, Arizona, UConn, and Houston.
What's Michigan, Arizona this year? Did they play?
I don't think so.
I know a lot of them played.
They play in the Players era.
They might have.
They have not played each other since 2021.
Did UConn Houston?
Arizona won that game by 18.
Did UConn Houston play this year?
That game was in actually the Players era in Vegas, one of the first years. UConn versus Houston. They have not played since 2020.
Damn.
Nothing recent. It's not even. I mean, those are pre-NIL era. Like, so we don't even have to consider those.
So this is truly based on how we feel about these teams this year, and that's good. Give me the Huskies.
I like Houston.
Sam, your time has come, bro.
God. What's the what do we get odds if you hover that? If you hover the preview, did they give us odds for? Well, not that one.
No.
No. Okay.
They put it at 56%. Their prediction would be
the wrong
56%.
game.
Oh, sorry. They give Houston a 64% chance to win.
Damn.
The Final Four is in Indianapolis. Kelvin Sampson, Danny Hurley. Do they have any common opponents this year?
No, let's see. Talk about contrasting styles of how they are.
Yeah, very much.
Calvin Sampson's calm as
Yeah.
hell. Bobby Hurley's gonna go ballistic on that sideline.
Both teams faced Arizona in non-conference action.
Houston and Arizona are in the same conference.
Oh, okay.
They're both in the Big 12.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know if that counts. I think Houston went 0-2 against Arizona, or 0-3.
Yep, and UConn lost to Arizona by 4.
UConn and Houston have played 3 common opponents this year: BYU, Arizona, and Kansas.
Okay.
BYU beat UConn 86-84, lost to Arizona 71-67, and beat Kansas 61-56. Houston beat BYU twice, lost to Arizona twice, and split with Kansas. Houston's 4-3 with common opponents. UConn's 2.
Do you guys remember the baseline out of bounds play that Kelvin Sampson drew up last year? To win.
I know.
Specific.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it though.
The fake to his point guard that like went. I remember him drawing. I'm gonna go Houston. I think they make it back. I don't think that at the top level the UConn has quite enough. Alex Caravan's a UConn legend. I just don't know if it's enough. This is where I think Michigan is missing a player or two, and I am taking Arizona.
I'm also on the Cats.
We're gonna do an all Big 12 final.
The Wildcats.
I think that I think that's fair. I mean, and for
Was
this
it
game,
not the best conference in basketball? The Big 12?
So
between them and Big
Arizona and Michigan had 2 common opponents. Kansas and Texas Tech. Arizona lost to Kansas, and Arizona lost to Texas Tech. Michigan beat them both.
Kelvin Sampson retires after this game.
He
Finally, a
retires
national champion.
He retires after this game. Yeah, with a national title. That's how I feel.
So Houston?
I before I made this bracket, I did not expect to pick Houston, but
I'm
I
also okay with
actually
picking Houston.
understand why. Yeah, I also understand why it went that way.
I'm okay with picking Houston to win it all.
What is our total points? I'm saying 172.
I was thinking 180.
Well,
180 something.
well, hold on. They played each other. They
Yeah.
played each other 3.
That's true.
Let's see. The last time they played, when they played yesterday, it was 79-74. So what's that? 44? 143?
Wow, much lower.
First half, when they played in February, it was 73-66.
Okay.
So we're looking in the 140s.
140. Yeah, more than likely.
Do you think they'll both come out even cagier in a national title game?
It's possible. Everyone gets the jitters.
140 or 139 or something?
I would say if we want to be over 140, probably 141.
I would say
fine with that.
141.
All
I'm
right.
fine with this bracket. This was
fun.
It was. I would honestly love if it ended up like this. I think that would be a great story.
We're gonna get we have the mix of upsets and great basketball at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the cream rose to the top. Either way, I think the only reason we went against Florida was I think Florida's a little flimsy and Duke's hurt. You know, I think one of Kelvin Sampson, Rick Pitino, either one of them finally gets it done. Does Rick have yeah, he has a national title or two, a couple.
He has two, but I think that Louisville one got vacated, I think, because of the stripper thing.
Yes, true. But he has won. I think we're either seeing Kelvin Sampson win his first and retire, or Rick Pitino win one and possibly leave, or we're seeing Dusty May, or who's Arizona's head coach? What's his name?
Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, I think we're seeing one of them cement themselves as the next
great coach.
Yeah, the next guy.
What is the thing about Tommy Lloyd? He has the most wins in his. He just passed Brad Stevens for the most wins in his first 5 years, or something like that.
Yeah.
People forget how good of a coach Brad Stevens was at Butler.
Brad Stevens was a goat. I don't forget.
He made them nationally relevant.
He made the title game with Butler, bro.
Yeah,
twice.
And then
he should.
And then he went to the Celtics and nearly won multiple titles and was really, really good. And now he's one of the best GMs in the NBA.
He just happened to, wasn't he? Yeah, he ran into LeBron, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he got to the finals with Isaiah Thomas and a rookie Jason Tatum, or to the conference finals. You weren't beating LeBron, not Miami LeBron.
Yeah. And now look at the team. He traded Kristaps, Horford, and Drew Holiday, and didn't have Jason Tatum all year, and they are the 2 seed and just got
They're
Jason
literally
Tatum
the 2 seed. Boston will be right back into the finals in my viewpoint.
I like Detroit, but they're not beating Houston. Or they're not beating Boston.
They're not beating Boston. And Cade Cunningham is easily, in my mind, if we really want to break down who's the most valuable player in the league and really stick to what value means, it's Cade Cunningham. You take him off of the Pistons, they are shit. Absolute shit.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, could you make I've been saying this all season. Do you make the same argument for Jaylen Brown?
No.
How dog shit are the Celtics without Jaylen Brown and Tatum?
Fine. You can say, okay, you know what? You're right. I apologize. Let me give JB his love. Jaylen Brown has played at an MVP level. But I just think the way the Celtics are run organizationally, I don't know, man. Brad Stevens is a dog, and he knows what the hell he's doing. So,
And remember, he also found a gem in Missoula too.
like, dude,
He
Joe
finds
Mazzulla
gems
for real.
everywhere. He finds gems everywhere.
So-
Like how many other teams really, really were high on Peyton Pritchard? How many teams like Luka
Peyton
Garza
Pritchard is a
gave them
bucket.
genuinely great minutes this year? Genuinely great minutes. And Luka Garza, good at Iowa, but like no one ever thought he'd be like. I mean, people thought he'd play in the NBA, but he gave them genuinely great minutes.
Peyton Pritchard is a
Pritchard is
bucket.
insane.
He's a
Like
bucket.
it's crazy what he finds all the time.
Man, insane. This was amazing. I can't wait to do our next episode on hoops. This was awesome, guys. Real talk.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. I'm happy March, fellas. We could get this is the greatest part about March is I could get every single one of these things wrong, and
It'll be the best time of my life.
It'd be great.
Yeah, I would be perfectly fine with all of it.
If this bracket went to absolute dog shit in the first day, fine, because that means we have some amazing basketball.
Yeah, that's all I care about is good ball.
Yeah, I want good basketball and just, I want some upsets here and there, but I think, with NIL, it's going to be chalk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
I agree.
But thank you guys for joining us. Please get ready for more sports talk with our group. We are going to be definitely covering football. We're going to be covering the NBA. We're going to be covering UNLV sports. We're going to be covering
U.S. men's national team, maybe World
We're going to be
Cup.
covering everything that has to do with sports. So make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys give us a follow. Shout out to Michael Cooper for getting everything done in essentially 45 minutes today. You are a GOAT. And you guys have anything? Sign off, baby.
No, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be doing this to you guys. Everybody enjoy your March. Only comes once a year. It's a special time for everybody. So make your family brackets, make your friend group brackets. Enjoy it.
Because it's going to be some of the best basketball you've ever seen.
Like and subscribe, baby.
Like and subscribe, baby.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button,
if you have comments,
and we will definitely
drop your comments, drop your picks, use our brackets. Tell us if you followed us all the way through. We want to know, we want to see, we want to hear.
Thank you guys for joining us. If we made the perfect
bracket, we will split it 3 ways.
Oh. Now with your Alabama slander, man. I don't know. You might get 40%.
That's fine. That's fair enough.
Whatever. But thank you guys for joining us. I'm signing off. You gentlemen have a wonderful night, and we will definitely catch you around the bend. Thank you for joining Hoops After Dark.
Peace.
Peace.